lords and ladies, Jacob Bonner speaking. Welcome back to another episode of... Excuse me for a second. Well, now that everyone's ears have successfully been slaughtered, I'll explain what that was. Remember I said a few days ago my computer make a bunch of grinding noises whenever I used it? Yeah, that's because I had to use it today. All of my programs transferred my files, which means that only that computer at Vegas when I was rendering Walking Wednesday. So Walking Wednesday should be coming out in precisely 1 minute. Well, I guess less than that now. And it seems to have just posted and then immediately started making even worse noises than it sometimes does. So yeah, I've had that thing under the blanket like all day. Just like muffle the sound whenever I go back. So there you go. It doesn't make sound when it's off, but sometimes it will every now and then just it's usually like at night in the morning. It's getting worse though. It's getting worse. This became a horror review. Indeed it did. You say audio is bad, well it can't be as bad as what it was just a few seconds ago. That being said, I have this is making noises. Again, I don't know how to fix that. It's just one of those things that keeps happening. So, well, no. I do this. That's about all I can do, I'm afraid. Okay. Yeah, like I said, not much I can do, I'm afraid. I don't know. There we go, something like that. Anyways, today we are going to look at something that I haven't been able to transfer over, which is my ability to download videos on this computer rather than on that one, because I was going back and forth between the two. I was not ready for this transition. I can't put the comment on screen right now, but it says Jacob blink twice if you need help. The fairies get you. The fairies have not got me yet, but after today, they might reconsider their options, because we are joined back again here to look at another episode of Royale Fairy Academy by Same DNA. And if you don't remember what last time was, oh, by the way, hi KW, enjoy your Yu-Gi-Oh session. If anyone's wondering, we've got our own session over on KW's channel tomorrow, so look forward to that. Anyone wants to join, so somebody will be here that is of bearable audio quality for you lot, so that'll be good. Let me just add him in. Why did that not copy paste? What did I do wrong? There we go. Okay. Oh, I got a DM from Pika in English for once. That's a rare sight. Anyway. Oh, here he is right now. That was quick.
Hi. So, before we actually do this, I just want to say, so I'm working on a show, or at least conceptualizing a show right now about the vampire mafia, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
And
I'm trying to turn up your audio.
One of the major villains is a coven in this. So I looked up, how many witches are in a coven? And it's like up like there's like 20 up to 60, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing 20 or 60 characters because that's way too that's way too many to get personalities and voice actors and designs. Too much work. So there will probably be 6 or 7 in the coven.
You could always rename it to something like a covenant, for example.
Is
so
a
that
covenant
implies
like
there are fewer.
is a covenant? Oh, is covenant like less people?
I just invented that right now, so it can be.
I don't know. I can still be a coven, but it's just a small coven. A small coven of like 7 witches. Because not doing 20 or 60, because that's ridiculous.
I guess so. If it's of any consolation, I reckon there were more people in the Emperor's Coven and the Owl House, so they've bent the rules in other media as well.
And also it's the fact that in this case I have to deal with Aiden and his family, and keep in mind I'm not including all of Aiden's children in this series. I may mention a few that don't appear, but Aiden has like 30 something kids. Maybe he has a lot of kids. Okay, he's been around for like hundreds of years.
Man, you mentioning characters without giving them appearances. This is a rare sight,
adopts a kid maybe every 15 or so years. Maybe, I don't know. But maybe sometimes he adopts 2 kids around the same time period. Depends. He likes adopting children. he adopts a lot of kids. Also, this series can honestly take place in like the 90s or something because, time period. Which, that doesn't really change much of the story.
Yeah, no, you say that like it's a big deal. It really isn't.
Yeah, it takes place in the 90s purely because there's another character who exists who's like technically she's like 40. She's like a 40-something-year-old woman, but she's a vampire, so she like
can be 40-something and have been born in a different decade, and still that would not.
Oh no! The series that she's associated with takes place in around 2019, 2020-ish time period. Versus
she would have been about 60, 70. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the case of her, like she's like 40-something. So it's like technically she was like 10 around the time period of this series before pre-adoption. So because 90s. Went back 30 years.
Okay, fine.
10 years before.
I thought you were paying homage to Buffy, but yeah, that works too.
I don't know. Honestly, with this, I'm paying a lot of homage to the
spelling
originals.
goes kitty.
Covenant.
Yeah, because sometimes et can just mean like something that is small. Other times it's the feminine variety of something, but it's already a witch's coven, so I feel like that covers itself.
I mean, yeah, technically, witch could be male or female, which isn't necessarily a gender term. It's just people use it sometimes gendered.
When you have an image of witchcraft in your head, which gender pops to mind first?
I guess. Okay, but just because what you imagine is something doesn't make it necessarily technically a witch.
What I'm saying is that it would not need a feminine variation, so covenant would be the diminutive in this context for that reason.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, enough about witchcraft and vampire mafia shenanigans.
Yeah, enough about witchcraft. Let's get back to fairy magic. Very different.
Oh yeah, speaking of fairy series, I want to work on. I need to work more on that script. Fairy series.
I mean, you just said you were starting a new series, so that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But
okay, I'm starting the scripting process.
You and I are working on a script together as well. Let's not forget.
Much like Vampires of Willow Falls, have no idea when it will actually be produced, but I am making the script now, or at least conceptualizing the script currently.
Okay.
It's in conceptualization phase.
All right. Anyway, this is last time.
Oh my god, she's shocked. She's animated now. She's like, oh my god.
She's always been animated.
No, well, she was stock motion before, technically. Early episodes were stock motioned.
Oh, okay.
So, like screenshots, I guess how Rosa Closey would put it, technically.
Okay. All right. Anyway, this is the previously.
Oh my god, I'm animated. I can move now.
Have you found yours yet?
Stay right there.
Oh, that was a delayed reaction.
This is a very classic thing for first animation attempts, is that every reaction is way too slow.
I'm not a traitor.
Isn't that...
Pink?
What was that scream?
Stay right-
Oh, wait, that wasn't
Yeah,
her
okay,
scream.
it was meant to be
That wasn't-
somebody else. It's just
I thought that was her scream. I was like, whoa, what happened to her voice? Why does she sound weird? What happened to her?
Yeah, that was the thing in episode 5 as well. Like, I just recapped that for myself, but...
Here, I'll go check on her.
Also, I hate how he's wearing a scarf over the uniform because the scarf he's wearing looks atrocious. Like, that black, bulky scarf looks so atrocious.
Maybe it's a symbolic scarf like Mako's from Legend of Korra.
I guess, but it looks atrocious with the uniform. Like, dang. I would have put the tie up a little bit more, just so you know the scarf was slightly covering the top of the tie more, because the tie being so low makes the scarf look really strange.
Well, if the tie is part of the uniform and the scarf isn't, then they were naturally going to clash in some way. Let's just say this man is not dressed for Kwong's cuisine.
Yeah.
Pink.
Oh, never mind. Some other people have got scarves too. Okay.
Oh, I forgot her name was Pink.
Okay, this is for Pink, I will definitely say that
Oh,
a collar
God.
over the top of a scarf, over the top of a ribbon is probably a little bit much, but
Also, her name is Pink. Imagine Pop being named Pink. This is Pink.
yes, of course.
What happened?
What do you mean, what happened?
I heard you scream.
I didn't scream. I've already got my treasure.
Well,
Then
okay,
who-
I mean, that seems more of a scream of fear than the scream of yay.
Yeah, I think it's more of a case of that they're in the middle of an exam right now. You're trying to collect different treasures that's supposed to represent things from their kingdom. Not actually, it's just for the sake of the exam.
Also, just from a pure design standpoint, I
Hold
don't
on,
like.
I'm still explaining this.
Oh,
but
right.
from the but from this forest itself actually does contain some real dangers, which is why if she was still looking for her kingdom's treasure, she might find herself in danger. But no, she's in the safe area because she already found it, and that's why she didn't scream. That's what she's trying to say.
Also, I don't like the way her gym is designed because if you go to Gacha, Gacha has very clear outlines, and if you look at the gym doesn't have very clear outlines. There's basically no outlines to it. And I know that she probably got it online or had someone else make it, but there definitely should probably be outlines around parts of the gym to have it at least give more of an illusion of fitting in with Gacha's art style than feeling like
I
you
don't know.
superimpose
You say that
something.
might have been custom made. You can also most likely find that kind of thing without having to look for it. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, without having to commission is what I meant to say. You always have to
Yeah.
look for it to find it.
But there probably should be outlines around it just to make it fit better with the art style of Gacha.
I guess, yeah. I've no idea what the prop creation process is like for this series, but I suppose. Ghost Kitty says, when I hear Witch, I immediately think of the Witch Academia, which does a lot of female characters, hardly any male characters. I remember one. I have seen one episode of the Witch Academia, and the one character from that episode that I thought was a boy wasn't, so I can confirm that.
Oh, dang.
I saw that a Minecraft YouTuber made a parody version of the first episode of My Street.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you know what, that was something to
Minecraft
work on
review
the list.
later? Question mark.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Want to see how My Street gets
Although
parodied.
ideally, I would like to be there for that. So, if you want to wait till Sunday, that'd be good.
Okay, fair. I do recall there was so one other thing I just wanted to do is the musical version of My Fashion, the full song compilation. But what I do recall there was a project that some YouTubers were going to do a while ago, which was My Street Abridged. They had a full cast of people. They would do out of character things together as a team or something. And I don't remember any releases happening, so I'm not sure what.
I
happened
mean, honestly, if you ever wanted to write a Minecraft My Street Abridged series, I'd help you. And I'd help, and we can use our voice actors and be like, "Hey, yo."
That's fair enough. I did, promise and direct and the first episode of Ultra Nova Abridged years and years ago. So I probably should get that done first.
I mean, honestly, My Street Abridged should be a lot easier since they don't have mouths. They don't have mouths. It should be a lot
that is
easier.
true. And within the abridged sphere, there are things that does allow a lot more freedom. However, the way that the mouths particularly work in Ultra Nova, it should be easy to get around. It's kind of like how we use the same animated mouths to dub over basically anything
Anything
anything in Gacha. But we don't make custom lip flaps, so most of the time that's that.
I don't. Which speaking
kinda
of
like
lip
that.
flaps, I don't know how like YouTubers do the whole lip flap thing because that seems really difficult to like have the exact lip flaps.
Well, if I see enough of Kaiser Neko's procedure, the answer is painstakingly.
Like I get freaked out when I have to do something painstakingly detailed. I'm like,
We've all noticed.
Listen, I try not to listen. It's really hard. Okay, it's really hard to do stuff painstakingly for me because it's weird. I get like pins and needles like with my stuff. I don't know how to describe it. It's like the lower the like my body. I don't know how to describe it. Like my body ends up having this weird physical like small shake that I just feel. Everything feels tingly. My whole body starts feeling tingly after a while. Like that happened yesterday at Fallen Angels, so I literally had to get up and do something else for a second.
I can somewhat understand that in the sense that because you're concentrating so much that you and like a tiny motion that you could make because ruin entire process, kind of like when I'm masking, for example. That's so but they don't want to move too much because otherwise it's like, okay, I need to make sure this is on the line. Here we go. Like if you do it for too long, I can see that being a thing where I accept having for the other body, which is the lower body that starts off with for you. But I mean, sure, that's maybe you're sitting in a particular way or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Ghost Kitty, my street in a nutshell is brilliant.
I think
I love
Aphmau
those.
herself reacted to that one back in the day.
Well, Aphmau reacted to one of them. I think there's like multiple. I think there's like 3 or 4. I think she only reacted to Emerald Secret in a nutshell. I don't think she reacted to a lot of it.
I remember season 1 being talked about because that was where it was like, hello, I'm Aphmau, I'm a relatable main character.
Yeah, because
we love her, that kind of thing. There was,
but it was so funny. They like messed up on the names. I'm like I don't know, like they said like the name's weird. Like I'm Goff instead of Gareth.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah, but
like,
I definitely
in the art
and one we got to do by Aphmau.
It felt like the Lemons turned into an actual series because like the way they're like stick figures, kind of like moving around and stuff, or not full stick, but crudely drawn versions of the characters just hopping around. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Those videos are great.
Time's up. Is everyone here?
No.
Where's Rosabella?
I saw Eric and Rosabella.
Also,
where is Rosabella?
Also from an animation standpoint, and this is what I think when it comes to animation rigs that should be done. I recommend having the white eye shines be actually attached to like the iris eye part when you move around the eye, because like
parented to them.
Yeah, because the thing is, when you do stuff like this, like when the eye shine stays still, it looks really strange. Because like the eye shine staying still, even though the eye's moving around, and like the eye shine is meant to reflect the light, or like the room, like the light in the room, like shining to your eye and like giving you,
or in
like,
this
little
case,
spots.
the outside.
Yeah,
I suppose in a sense, if you think about it, there's actually would mean there's something to play around with in terms of eye highlights, if they account for different different lighting conditions.
I mean, yeah. But I don't know. It's just one of those animation things where they really should the eye shine should be attached to the eye rig. Should be attached to eye rig, not the way they do it. Where it's like it stays part of the eye.
We have got a question for you, however. What do you think of all the blue that's in this?
I mean, it seems like an average amount of blue. I don't know. I mean, if you really do analyze most things, a lot of things have like blue or a lot of cooler colors. Normally stuff doesn't have a lot of hot colors in the shot or design in general, because too many hot colors at once is kind of overwhelming, versus too many cool colors are kind of fine. Like normally a lot of hot colors are used for like sunsets or like for very specific scenarios in general. So I mean, pretty much
it seems more so that Ghost Kitty was referring to specifically the characters in this case.
Oh,
like blue wings, blue hair, and blue eyes.
I mean, fine. I don't know. I mean, the uniforms are blue.
By the way, also
I do kind of like the gold finish on or like the gold outline, the gold stuff on there. I think the gold and like that shade of blue gold.
I think it's those accents. Everybody calls them accents.
Accents, words. Although I hate his scarf. What is that scarf? I hate their scarves. Their scarves are the worst. They don't look well with the uniforms.
I don't think any of these characters bought their scarf, which must be, they're just a thing they found themselves somewhere at some point, or someone bought for them with the intention of blending in with the uniform. So I kind of give that a bit more leeway because, I mean, realistically, they would have.
Okay, from a realistic standpoint, yes, but dude, it's an animated series, like in real life, that's one thing, but like we're not in real life. We're in an animated series where everything, or at least everything ideally is done with a purpose in mind. Action.
Yeah, and the purpose in this case is to simulate reality. That is a very common purpose in animation.
I don't know. It just doesn't look good. And I like things to look good constantly, or at least try to look good. Yes,
I do remember we were redesigning a character that's going to appear in the next Mutant Girl episode, and I mentioned how her messy hair could actually kind of imply something about her character, but was pretty major. And you said, "Well, yeah, but it could be messy, in a nice way."
No, I said a messy in a cute way.
Same.
We're in chibi art, dude. We're in chibi art. You got to make them kind of look a little bit cute, Well, especially the mutant girl. To be fair, in the case of the mutant girl, things looking cute is a lot more important because it's a slice of life. It's like a kind of cutesy series sometimes with some drama and comedy, but like the cuteness helps make it come off the better than having it look really dark and grungy and like
part of that makes sense. Part of it, I do remember that when I was actually designing more and like trying to determine her movements and mannerisms, and I guess also directing her form of speech, that I focused a lot on the cuteness factor, particularly for her. But that also means that you got to do that somewhat in contrast to some other people. So I don't. Well, for me, at least, not everyone is going to end up being like that. Particularly the character we were talking about before. But in some cases, then yeah, you'd be right. Like Agatha, for example, another major character that would.
Agatha gotta be cute. Well, it also kind of feeds into their characters. Like if Morwenna's being all kind of cute and stuff like that, you feel even worse when she gets bullied. And Agatha being all cute and sweet. Agatha being all cute and sweet makes the audience feel bad when her life is falling apart in front of her eyes.
Like Malwick, for example, where where the point is, it's like a first love that's a lot more innocent. Yeah, of course, that's part of it for him as well. The character that's going to be in the next episode, not really, sort of kind of exists in contrast to that.
I guess, but at the same time, it's not like we like sat down and like, okay, we're gonna give this character an arc, we're gonna get this character focused. She has I think she has a single scene where she talks to a character, and then we haven't.
Yeah, it's environmental storytelling. So this wasn't.
This
was mainly for us.
Okay, mainly for us, that makes a lot more sense because, I don't really think the audience is hypothetically getting much out of it because the audience really isn't gonna note. Honestly, the audience is observant, but I don't think they're observant where they're observing every background character and every minor instance, It's
interesting that you say that because I actually had this discussion with BB where I said more or less the same thing because she was surprised in the last Rip in the Dark episode that no one pointed out which of the Fates was talking. And decides make that as a highlighted thing in the commentary. Because first of all, it wasn't immediately clear which Fate was who. Secondly, the average watcher of Rip in the Dark was not going to know the individual Fates. The response was crack a book open. It's yes, the Fates are here. I better look them up quickly before I continue to consume this content. No, that's not what people do.
Well, to be fair, in relation to me and BB, both are neurodivergent, and we tend to hyperfixate on stuff and hyperfixate. Especially, both of us tend to focus on lore a lot.
Sure, but in this particular instance, you have your complete opposite points of view to each other. That doesn't apply here.
But in the case of both of us would probably take note of that kind of stuff. The general watcher would not.
Would you take note of which of the Fates was speaking in a prequel episode versus the regular one?
depends on if I'm into the mythology. I'm not really too into Greek mythology. I'm into it, but I'm not too into it. Listen, I'm into other mythologies. Or not other mythologies.
I'll be perfectly honest, you reference Greek mythology a lot more than I do these days.
I'm into a lot of mythology, show-specific mythology with certain... Not shows I make, but like shows I watch in general.
Honestly, also shows you make. Again, you reference Greek mythology more than I do.
Yeah. I'm absorbing knowledge, okay?
Yeah, so I think you might be a bit more into it than you're letting off. But the point with the safe case of BB was the case that it's the expectation someone having to do like the homework to that. To which I said that same thing that you did, that yours will not observe everything.
Not
but
everyone
that goes back to what Ghosty was saying
well.
years ago about environmental storytelling and how that's good to implement, and that was just an example.
Oh, it's good to implement, but also, honestly, it's one of those things where it's like, no one should get butthurt if all that environmental storytelling you put in never gets noticed because realistically, it's like one of those things that just kind of happens, and if no one notices it,
there's always director commentary for that.
Yeah,
I remember when 4-Star Bento were doing their creator commentary on Dragon Ball Z Abridged. There were a few things that, actually, like half of the stuff that they were pointing out and highlighting was stuff that was stuff that I knew. A quarter was stuff that I didn't know that kind of adds like extra context to some of the jokes, and the other quarter was just behind the scenes stuff that helped inform something. Like particularly the there's like an inoffensive line was like Frieza says like, "What even is that? What is that?" And that's referencing like a panel that they attended where they were given a better room than some like well-known voice actor, and they heard them saying from the corner like, "Team 4-Star, what is that? What even is that?" And then later on I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged again and realized that there was actually a line where someone mentions Team 4-Star, and then while the character says, "What is that? What even is that?" Because the Lucariba was also at that panel. And it's just, so, yeah, I would not have known that if I hadn't seen the creator commentary.
I mean, I find creative commentary
commentaries
to be interesting, though. Or, even when we do creative commentaries, there's a lot of stuff that we talk about behind the scenes, reference-wise or something.
Yeah, because there is a lot of stuff.
That gives a lot more context to certain stuff. Even,
if we didn't put those things in the first place, there'll be nothing to talk about.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's like one of those things where I would kind of eventually like to maybe touch on her character one more time, or at least give her a few lines every once in a while.
And now that we've created somewhat more of a character for her via that environmental talk, that's more of an option now.
I say I would like to. Will it happen? Maybe. Or maybe not. Just from an audience perspective, guys. It may or may not happen. We don't know.
They don't even know which character we're referencing yet because they haven't appeared. So to them, it doesn't matter at the moment.
They'll know. Anyway, episode.
Yeah, well, they'll know when we talk about in commentary.
Ella talking earlier.
Yes.
Yes, I forgot to also say, because before we moved on, that yes, these gems are differently shaped. However, this does seem to imply they're from like a same collection of images rather than a commission thing, but they could have been commissioned as well. It's again, it can go either way.
Also, I think the music needs to be turned down in the video. Like, the music is pretty loud.
Maybe I could just turn down the volume a bit.
Pink scream.
I told you already. I didn't scream.
What scream? Where is Rosabella?
How is it that Eric heard a scream coming from this area, but none of the people who were in this area heard the scream?
Rosabella?
Wow, what a fantastic way to call out to someone. Rosabella? Can you hear me? From wherever you are?
Hello, I'm talking slightly louder than my normal voice. Hello. Well, not slightly louder than my normal voice. I'm loud.
Maybe I'm mildly jaded because I had to recently scream "Help me" at the top of my lungs for a voice recording.
Okay, well, I think it should be a tad louder. I don't think you need to scream at the top of your lungs, especially because screaming too loud in your mic can cause it to peak, and then that will ruin the audio.
Which is exactly what happened, so I have to do it again at some point. But again, for the context of the scene, I had to do it was top of lungs.
I mean, I would do something like Rosabella. Yeah.
In this case, yeah, something like that.
Where that's not too loud, but it's also not like Rosabella. Ow, that actually hurt my voice.
And an example of peaking audio. Yes, fantastic. We didn't need one, but we got one anyway. Thank you, Aiden.
I should have.
Where's Adrian?
Ow. Head
it was in a
forward.
tree last time, so...
Ooh, a fire.
She almost walked into a floating will-o-wisp. I never seen someone actually touch a will-o-wisp before, but I imagine it's still fire, right? So, you know, be careful.
Maybe it may just look like fire. I'm
Yeah,
fine.
well, it's,
I just screamed
at least in
loud.
Pokemon, Will-O-Wisp is a move that is guaranteed to burn you. So, you know, careful where you
Yeah.
walk.
Don't touch. Wait, oh my god, it's gonna lead her to an area where she can meet a witch that'll turn her mom to a bear.
Maybe.
Oh,
Might also be Boo from Monsters Inc., depending on if you do the Pixar theory. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, we
okay.
saw like a little bit of like a crossing of a force field here, it seems. Which I
Oh.
think might... Oh, okay.
Are you sure
I like
that isn't
teleportation
Are you
effect.
sure that's intel? Oh, I mean it's pretty cool teleportation.
Yeah,
Well, you
that
see,
was
in
teleportation.
Fallen Angels, you have a white flash transition.
Or a yellow
Ooh.
flash, depending on who's editing the scene. Sometimes I've made it yellow in the past. But also, yeah, in like what Rosabella did earlier seemed to be walking through a force field versus like here where like reality sort of like warped and shrunk a bit, which I do like actually.
I mean, yeah.
Hey, babysitter!
So implies have to
Well,
like pull the matter
oh.
from somewhere.
Oh. Ooh,
Okay.
I like this. I like this back perspective.
Yeah, interesting that the forest looks very different now. I mean, obviously it's darker, but still.
Well, they went through a weird force field / invisible area, so maybe this is like some dark magic place.
I wonder if this is figurative because first of all, I enjoy the shadow on the ground and the smoke from on the bottom layer, but also it seems like she's walking on what seems to be like less gravity, which might be because she has wings, so that will like slow down gravity for her when walking anyway. But flight has been disabled on this server for the time being, so
Flight has been disabled.
not sure if that's going to apply.
Wait, I got a question. How do you disable flight? Like, I
With a
mean, you
spell.
have literal wings. No,
Magic.
you have literal wings though. Like normally it'd be like, oh yeah, disabling magical like levitating style flight is one thing, but disabling wings, that's like someone disabling angel flight. Like we have disabled your flight with everyone's wings still out. It's like, I can still flap these wings to fly. That's kind of how I fly by flapping
I mean,
my
you
wings.
know, but I mean, Aiden, according to all known laws of aviation, the fairy is not supposed to fly. Its
Oh my
tiny
God.
wings could not account for its portly body. The fairy, flies anyway because it's magic. Maybe
I
now
mean-
it just can't
I
because
mean,
they're too heavy.
I mean, actually, that could be an interesting way to disable it. Like, maybe the wings naturally have magical properties that allow the fairy to fly and make them basically weightless in flight. But they disabled that, and her wings now she's too heavy to fly. She's like, ugh, oh no, I can't fly. Ugh.
Which would, if that is the case, that does mean there's some sort of like decreased gravity here, because that's what the only thing that would not be pulling her down as much. Or it's just the animation. Could be that too.
I mean, I think the animation's fine. I mean, it's just
No, but look, see the way she's floating like that? It's that's how
Yeah.
people walk on the moon. That's what I mean.
It is a little bit strange. Ooh, I like the foreground.
The exam's
I mean, yeah.
Wait.
that's pretty
finished!
cool.
Wait, boy, you literally walked through a force field, and you're like, "Hey, by the way, the exam's finished." Shouldn't you be more concerned that you walked through a force field, or does this always look like this?
Well, I think he knew there was a force field that existed because the teacher warned them not to go out of bounds. So this is out of bounds, I presume.
Oh.
Oh yeah, there we go. Ghost can remember that from last episode. Yeah, Rosa gonna get in trouble, and so is Adrian potentially.
I want to use
Where
the name
are
Rosa
you?
in a project now because, like, I tried to. We almost used it in this one project, but
Okay, now he's walking. He's walking normally. Like his weight seems to be fixed. So that probably wasn't animation.
it was probably just that animation.
Okay, why do we have to like zoom into his face before we hear the sound? That was. I know that the animation
He was he was closing his eyes and like hyper listening, and that's what the shot was meant to convey.
Okay.
These are focused on it. His ears to focus technically.
So he had to hyper listen to hear the sound of a twig snap.
Well, it's trying to hear. Oh, why'd you teleport back?
I guess he
Jeez.
heard the twig snap through the force field, and that's why it was required to hyper listening.
I I don't know. It's a force field. Can you hear through force fields? Like, imagine force fields.
Apparently
make,
he can.
like a low,
Otherwise he wouldn't
like
be back
buzzing
here.
or something. I don't know how a force field would realistically sound. Magic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stop!
Well,
Okay,
he's
this is
running so slow.
interesting. So I think this is meant to imply that she's in a trance following this will-o-wisp, and doesn't know she's going towards a cliff. However, I pose this: if she's entranced by following this will-o-wisp, wouldn't she just follow it in a straight line, aka like not follow the zigzag curve of the cliff before going off of it?
Well, maybe the will-o-wisp is also zigzagging, so it's exactly following behind her.
Oh, so it has to follow. Yeah, this is a server where flight's disabled, and you
The
have to follow
will-o-wisp,
given like
the
AI path
will-o-wisp
in a
knows
cutscene.
that flight's disabled, and they realize, oh wait, we don't want to kill her immediately. I know, let's zigzag.
A predetermined NPC path with invisible walls for safe measure.
Stop! Why
Okay, now he's going in slow motion.
isn't she stopping? Don't you hear me? Babysitter! We're not supposed to be here!
I thought he was gonna like go through like all of the nicknames that she's been called, and then actually finally say her name, and that's what snaps her out of
Say
it.
her name. She may
Exactly.
She's in a trance. Maybe saying her name's the only way to get her out of the trance.
DJ Khaled.
Oh no.
Rosabella!
There we
Why
go.
did you? Oh. See, now
I've
you
got
catch
you.
her. Now you catch her. Like, come on, man.
Adrian? What are we
Now
doing
I-
here?
I kept calling you, but you didn't hear me.
That
It
doesn't
seemed
answer the
like you were in a
question.
You
trance.
didn't call her. You didn't call her. You called her babysitter. That's
That's
the
what.
same.
Yeah, but he's called her that because while he was a cat in a previous episode, she took care of him, and I don't know.
I told you I'd save you.
Thank you.
Show me what it's like to be circling among the
Whoa.
clouds.
Well, why did we replay that several times? Why are we replaying her?
Because it's such an important moment. She's hugging one of the two love interests. We just showed that in 3 separate angles, don't you know?
Well, yeah, but you also rewound time a few seconds to show
And
it
you
in
also
3
have to
separate
like
angles.
draw them or like design them into 3 different ways. That's like
This
That's
seems
like
like a
extra
lot of
effort just for this
unnecessary
replay.
work.
on one hand, you gotta love the commitment to getting that right. On the other, why?
Because without you by my side, I would be stuck here on the
Whoa,
ground.
whoa,
Yeah, okay.
whoa.
It clips over itself a little bit. Yeah.
That looks strange. I
Plot
mean,
twist: the wisp was actually a pixie trying to kill Rosa. That's my own headcanon.
okay.
I mean,
I will
maybe.
say I do commend them for attempting a spinny shot. Did it work? No. But did they
The
try?
only thing that didn't work for me was with the one when her head like clipped over his, and it's probably going to be the same again. That was weird, but whatever. Also, I'm not sure if I don't know. I think we've confirmed these into pixies in this world yet. That might maybe that's just like the Winx Club bias, but it's like the fairy and pixies size difference in that show.
So when it comes to pixies in mythology, technically pixies are a type of fae, which would be a type of fairy.
Yes.
But most of the time, I don't think people differentiate pixies and fairies properly. They're not really.
Unless you watch Winx Club, which again,
they're not, a majority of stories they're not really differentiated. So they're normally it's like you're a fairy, you're also a pixie, for some reason. Don't question it.
I feel like Ghosty's gonna come in here any moment and start defining the Fae for us.
Defining the. Oh, see the.
Okay,
fading.
interesting. Did like a fade into it because I guess because these are still 2D images, they have to fade to each other in some way or another.
Lighting up the way, I can see the road ahead of me.
And we also faded out of that in a different angle than we ended up in. It would have been nice to kind of stay in that actually.
I mean, they're overlaid decently for the hug, I would think.
They are, yes. That part still stands, but yeah.
Hey, you're wounded.
How did you get wounded?
That's a fair question, actually.
I mean,
you didn't take any
She fell off.
Maybe because of like the like she got scratched on the way down from the cliff or something. I don't know.
I mean, didn't really see that, but you know.
The Rosenberg's head has not worked for us. How it hasn't fallen out. It's flat like paper. Yeah, may honestly that could have that could have been a cute moment actually. If the flower falls down the cliff and she loses it, and Adrian, who knows what happened, gives her a different one, that would have been some good shipping material for the show. Not that it's devoid of shipping material. It's kind of like 90% that. So maybe it's fine they didn't do it.
Which I will say, I kind of wish they went more into the story than shipping material, but you know.
I think the story is mostly shipping material.
Why? Well,
with a slight backdrop of political classicism.
I don't know. I mean, I want to know. I want to learn more about the political classism. I want to learn about the shipping. I mean, I don't really listen. Okay, I think stories work best, especially if they're set in a fantasy setting or another world, when the main focus is the other world and how the characters are dealing with it, or the otherworldly force that the main characters are dealing with in the regular world, with romance being like a small part of that than the other way around. Because then it's like, oh, here's a really interesting world, but we're gonna focus on a romance. Oh, here's really interesting vampire lore, but we're focusing on it all through the lens of romance, guys. The Vampire Diaries in a nutshell.
I guess I guess like an example of that. Well, to go back to, I mentioned the owl house at the start of the video, but yeah, another example of that, because of course, you know, there's plenty of romance in the owl house for sure. But yeah, like ultimately, there was so much more that was actually going on in that show. So
yeah, I mean, I would say even with Star Wars Force of Evil, like I would say at a certain early on, like the first half of the show. Heck, even parts of season 3, romance was a part of it, but it felt like romance at most throughout a majority of the story wasn't always the main point.
Yeah, and to be completely fair to the early romance in Star, that one of my favorite episodes actually is actually does deal with romance, but again, that was like a one-off situation. You know, it's like have it constantly everything or become everything gradually.
Yeah, which I mean, season 3 is where that technically started. I mean, it was a part of season 2, but it felt more like it was a part, not the major point of it at certain points. Yeah, which you know, I don't know. I mean, hey, as someone who loves romance and stories, like obviously Fallen Angels has like the Helen and Alana romance going on right now. And like,
yeah, again,
know,
not the
like,
not the.
I like romance, but like I also like to tell us more of a story than just mainly focused on rather than just a romance. Unless the main story itself is the romance, which then I wouldn't put it in a super interesting setting like an alternate reality or magical creatures or something too much, because then it's like here are more interesting elements. Anyways, let's focus on this very mundane male protagonist. Well, it's either the mundane female protagonist who barely has any personalities that the female that women watching it are supposed to project themselves onto, or
you can say Twilight. It's fine. We all know.
Twilight. Or B, you're supposed to have, or you have like a very boring male lead and like a bunch of interesting females around him. You know. Where it's like, ooh, who's gonna pick? It's like
focus on the love interest to make them interesting, naturally. But yeah, that does. Yeah, in both scenarios, the protagonist is always the one.
I like it when protagonists are actually try to be interesting, even in a romance story. Because God, try to make them interesting is my major. Because I don't want to be, you know, like the fanfics, Your Name or like YN. You know, yes. I don't want the main protagonist to be that in a TV show I'm watching or like movie or something.
Fun fact: in the J canon, Empress actually had a roommate that was called YN. That eventually got a different name actually, and actually she had like a whole thing going on for her. She had more of a personality than she had any right to be with that name, but the name was consistent for quite some time until there was like a random like. I think it was almost an Instagram account that was made. Which now they say that out loud, means there's 2 Empress Instagram accounts that have both been decanonized by me.
Yeah. Well, you see, Empress are pierced human ears.
Yes. Well, okay, that's on one of them. Because I think there was another one that Jay made like way before that was to do with his version of Empress.
Honestly, Mutant Girl Instagram account would be kind of great. Although I personally would go for Morwenna. You know,
Yeah, it depends. I haven't decided if she's a very social media type of person, to be honest.
Or Reina, hypothetically.
Yeah, Reina was more like that.
Reina is a social media girly pop, okay?
Yeah, that makes more sense to me, honestly.
She just does a photo dump where like half of where it's like, oh, playing cards with Julius, she's neutral, he's the worst. In parentheses, neutral.
Something along those lines. Honestly, Julius would probably make some sort of like some account to, like, I don't know, recreate the selfies that Reina uploads or something. I don't know. Anyway,
no, wait, he just puts out a Photoshop version of the thing where you put a speech bubble in where she says neutral.
I guess.
To troll her and tags her.
He just makes memes, honestly. That's what he does.
Makes meme.
Anyway, so girl, Rosa, how strong your hair ties? Whatever you use to keep up your hair. I feel like even if you don't completely fall down, your hair would come undone. I'll take that a step further, actually, and say that if they're up this high, like the altitude, like there would be so much wind right now that, well, partially we wouldn't be able to hear the dialogue too much, but also their hair would just be like blowing all over the place anyway.
Oh, it's fine. It's just a scratch.
It's literally not
Tis but a scratch.
a scratch.
It's actually multiple scratches. Get it right.
Here, let me help you.
No need. I can handle myself.
Says the one who just fell off the cliff.
You're so rude for a prince.
Wait, where did that come from?
I feel like should he be more, because that was a reveal for her, so he probably keeps that under wraps, I would imagine. So he probably should have reacted a bit more.
Thought I was a thief.
Okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry.
But he could be a prince and a thief. Why are the two not? Why are the two mutually exclusive?
Rich people never steal. Jacob, rich people never steal. No rich person does anything wrong
They can
ever.
buy stuff anyway. They don't need to.
You know, stealing if you're rich isn't a thing. Avi fam, Avi.
No, we've never seen somebody in a well-off situation steal simply for the thrill of it, for sure.
Yeah. He's going full on klepto at any point.
Ghost Kitty, I know you're trying to be Bond for tonight's review, and that involves me saying the punchline before you do. That's the deal.
Oh dang it!
Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Don't push it.
Let's hurry before we get into more trouble.
Are we gonna talk about why a wisp tried to kill her?
Well, they probably should, like, when they're like away from the cliff, you know, a bit more of a private setting than, well, I say this is a private setting, but like a different setting than this one. That feels like a conversation for later on. However, I'm more concerned about the fact that thing just whizzed past at max velocity and they were right at the edge of the cliff. So whatever just ran past them is currently tumbling to its death.
Yay! Oh.
It's like, run! They're gonna find the body and put together we were here! We gotta get out of here now!
I like the light from the shot.
Me too. I'm just now cutting for, like, okay, they're in slow motion right now, but also the gravity's back.
I didn't know something was wrong.
Oh.
I was dreaming we got along.
Also, by the way, this is such a Vampire Diaries thing to do. Oh, a potential romantic moment's happening. I know. Let's put in some song with lyrics in the background. Literally happens all the time. It's like, okay, lyrics are playing, romantic scene coming up.
Interesting, because last episode, the other love interest, Eric, the one that the one that Prism said to think of her whenever he appears, and he barely showed up in this episode so far.
Prism.
He actually like serenaded. Well, I guess he like sang for everyone, but they specifically asked him to sing for Rosa, and he kind of did. So
serenade me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Being
so
serenaded sounds kind of romantic, but you know, that will never happen to me. I want to be serenaded. Although honestly, I'm probably gonna be the one doing the serenading, knowing me because I like to sing a lot. So you know.
Well, I mean, you're telling me.
I want to be romanced.
You're telling me I've written plenty of songs for many a fair maiden over the years.
Many a fair maiden.
Yeah, I don't usually sing to them, so they don't usually get that far.
Yeah, you just make a video. You just make a video for the fair maidens.
I mean, I have collabed with them in the past, but yeah, no. I mean, the closest I've come to like combining those, I guess, would be, you know, Nathaniel making an entire song to cheer up Hera, but you know.
I mean, that's not really romantic serenade.
Yeah, that was not supposed to be romantic, like
That
in the moment, because it was meant to be like cheering her up, and that's just what Nathaniel does to cheer people up. But that was technically a serenade.
Technically.
Romantic by default. Anyway, Aladdin equals thief plus prince. Yeah, the thing with Aladdin, I was thinking of him as like an example, but he was like a thief first and a street rat, and then I don't remember him.
And then he became a prince. Then he became a prince and stopped stealing. So you know.
Yeah, that's so. I'm not entirely sure he was ever both at the same time.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, actually, he did wish to be a prince, but that was more of a fake. That was more of a facade. He wasn't actually a prince. So.
Well, yeah, because the genie couldn't just like build an entire kingdom for him necessarily. This is logical. Where's that music coming from? My nose was falling with a boombox and equipment. That'd be a really funny fourth wall joke, but yeah, probably not fitting for this episode. I do enjoy like their reactions to each other actually as this is going on. However, I'd be more concerned again about the shadow that was supposed to be following them before, rather being like mesmerized or, you know, laughing at, you know, your love interest smacking himself in the face. I mean, yes, we know the thing is dead for sure.
Ding dong, the shadow figure is dead. The shadow figure.
Actually,
figure.
Unless it wasn't affected by like the no flight spell.
Dead.
If it wasn't affected by the no fly spell, then actually it could have survived that. But I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if that was like a full like radius thing or just applied to the students.
No, but the shadow figure didn't have wings or anything.
Oh, okay, yeah, then it's dead.
I mean, maybe the character's meant to have wings, but you know, when they're making the silhouette, they're like, we shouldn't put wings on it. Maybe that would give too clear of a silhouette potentially.
It really wouldn't. Not for this show. Okay, I guess they stopped running now.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, it had wings that time, but also, yes, I guess that's why it survived. Oh yeah, you could have done that the whole time. Why did he bother running? Just teleport
Because
away.
it's more romantic to run. It's more romantic.
Now that I think about it, he didn't even need to lift her off use the strength to like lift her back from the cliff. He could have just teleported them while she was hanging on.
Well, actually, it's probably better if they teleport while standing because if he did teleport her, like, I don't know how his teleportation specifically works, but if she stayed in the exact same position, he grabs her, immediately teleports, she would either be sticking in the ground or like he would have to teleport himself a few feet in the air, so she would have a chance to land on her feet, but then he would land on his butt.
Or also on his feet if he is facing, if he is like, you know, vertical, which he is, and he would just like fall on his feet from that angle. Because as far as what we've seen so far, his body pose doesn't change too much from teleportation, so he wouldn't like end up horizontal for no reason. They just do that gag of tall Mike in the corner. That's called a boom mic, by the way. Just in case it's a character in the head. Yeah. They call those boom mics. Don't know why, but there you go.
This is as far as we can go. The guards will search for them.
Oh, I guess you have... Oh yeah, I forgot they have guards at this school.
Hey! Isn't that Adrian and...
Wow, they just happened to walk through the force field at the exact spot that we were looking for them at. How convenient.
Rosabella?
Isn't that the people that we were looking for and would not be surprised to encounter? Wow, le gasp.
Crafty, you should fail Rosabella. She didn't follow the rules.
Don't tell him I didn't do his job. He knows he's gonna fail her.
Punishments will be determined later. We should head back to the academy.
Fair, she almost got killed, so I don't know. Maybe give her a sec.
Neither of those two know that at this point.
Rosa, are you okay? I'm okay.
Bella, you're bleeding.
Rosabella?
What? She's not
Rosabella-
bleeding.
Bella, wow, what a what a difference from Rosa being a shortened version of Rosabella. You picked the last part of her name. Wow, that must mean you're special, or she's special to you.
Ooh.
Come on, is that the standard really? Like,
Bella, Adrian, I need to speak with you after class. Emma, bring Rosabella to the infirmary.
Yes, Professor.
Thank you
okay, guess she's all better now. We cut away from the infirmary. All right then.
for your honesty. You may rest in your rooms.
Sorry for the trouble, Professor.
So what was the will
Big
list?
glow.
Well, I don't think they know at this point.
Not only a glow. Prince Eric heard Pink scream, but she said she never did.
I'll send the Cavalier to scout.
Interesting. You know, a character who you hear scream from some end, but it turns out it actually wasn't them. Gee, I wonder where I've heard that idea from before.
The region. We
Okay,
cannot let such-
actually, in a lot of mythologies, it's actually pretty common to have people who mimic voices. Not like creatures that mimic voices used to either lure people in or lure people away, so they can like get whatever prey they want.
In all fairness, I got the idea from the Hunger Games, so yeah, that's fair. If anyone knows what the Jabberjays are in the Hunger Games, that's where I got the idea for, like, you know, the Felix imitation voice thing.
Yeah.
School full of
Wait,
royal
question:
fairies.
can Felix pretend to replicate a female voice or just the male voices? How good is he? Like, if he wanted to pretend to be Reina, could he do it?
That is a fair question, and he did say that was like his original intent, so he would have given it a go, I suppose.
I don't know if he would have been actually. Well, to be fair,
I mean, or he might have like tried something else potentially, you know.
I mean, I guess he could
Because
imitate
I mean,
Marwick.
he did like. I mean, Judas was the one who wandered off, and he did just, you know, find him and knock him out. So he could have just technically taken him if that was the plan. He wouldn't need to imitate a different voice.
Contingency occur.
Do what you must, Your Majesty.
As for the young ones, see to it that they forget about this incident.
What? You gonna erase their memory?
Oh, in a magic society, yeah, I imagine that's what he means by that.
Oh, I forgot.
Your Majesty, Professor
You see, now they're all flying again.
Dynamite has submitted a
Oh,
request.
also, I don't like the queen's dress is outlined because they're too. I don't know why they're so white. Like, you
Yeah, I think
make
you
them
might have,
like
like,
make
mentioned
them
this in
like
the
you
previous
should
episode,
make
but
them
yeah.
like a more like medium gray tone to like look decent, because like the outlines make it look like her dress is glowing constantly. Like, oh
Maybe
yes,
it is.
my angelic dress.
Maybe it is,
angelic
honestly. That
ball
could be a thing
gowns.
for a fairy queen.
I don't think that's the intention. If it was the intention, that'd be cool. Also, what happened to her wing? Her wing got cut. Look,
That's
her
a
wing.
fair question.
Her wing is
It seems like
detached.
it's still, yeah. Like normally, I would say maybe that was like the result of like a battle scar or something from long ago. But actually, to be
if it
perfectly
was-
honest, it looks like it's been cut in the sense that
It's been
it was
cut
part of
completely
the
off.
Actual art that got imported, because I think it's going to move around. That it's going to move at the same rate as the part that is still attached to her. Let's just check. Oh, okay, it cuts away. We'll check later.
Gala of some sort.
And when would
Oh,
this
God.
gala be?
Her
Later
wing-
this
No,
evening.
like her wing doesn't even connect. It's cut in a way where it doesn't even connect. It's kind of just
No, I know it doesn't
floating.
connect to itself. I was thinking that do they move at the same pace to each other? Because if this was like one image that happened to have like one part that was erased, they would move at the same rate. And now I'm realizing that it seems like the queen is slightly moving, just like shuffling up and down a little bit, but the wings for Divine Ones are staying still. So I was like, wait a minute, the wings aren't moving at all right now, so I can't really tell. But then I was like, oh wait, the wings aren't moving, but the queen is. Ooh, oh no.
Your Majesty.
This evening?
Okay, now the wings have moved, and yeah, they do move at the same rate, so it is just a case of something got erased by accident.
Why was I not informed?
His Majesty has arranged everything.
Damien? What is going on, Wendy?
Do you want me to find out?
As soon as possible.
Yes, Your Majesty.
You could just ask your husband, but sure.
Pink? Is there a problem?
Man, she was really like walking with like a drooped head or something. She was going like,
She's so sad, man. But Pop
Yeah.
Josephine, rip off Pop Josephine over here.
Yeah.
So sad. I know she's not rip off Pop Josephine technically, but you know, pink-haired bully girl, you know, might as well reference her.
I don't think I'll be able to fulfill my promise, Father.
What
Why are you
promise?
why are you having an emotional breakdown now? Is this like a real one or a fake one? And also,
it could be either.
If this is a real one, why did it come out of nowhere? Like,
I think it was like after the intense like moments that Rosabella and Adrian had, because she's trying to marry Adrian. So now that Rosabella has become even closer to Adrian, maybe she's now feeling like, okay, there's no hope anymore for me.
Oh my
About
god,
Adrian
it's so easy though. Just get Rosabella to date another person. Engineer a situation where Rosabella spends more time with another person. Less
If
time
only
with
there
that
was another
person.
love interest that Rosabella had that she could very easily arrange.
No, like you just gotta no, girl. You just gotta manipulate people. You gotta push. You just gotta find ways to like have them certain people interact less without being too obvious. Like you can't, because they may start interacting with each other out of spite if they know you don't want them to interact.
Yeah,
but
this is another classic of the I guess harems, but also just the idea of like a love triangle stories is the people that conspire in order to pair up someone with like the other person they don't want to be involved in. There's a lot of people that like make alliances of convenience in order for that to happen at some stage.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Why are you so threatened by that commoner?
Threatened?
Yeah.
Why don't you prepare for the gala instead? The Academy has prepared a gala for the students this evening.
Wow, so they prepared a gala for the students, but yet none of the students were informed of the gala?
Also, by the way, what is wrong with her outlines? So if you look at her rear hair has a darker outline than her front hair. Why are there two separate outlines?
Remember who her mother is. It's hereditary.
Oh my god, I forgot. Also, how come she doesn't look like either of her parents? Like, you couldn't have gave the mother this pink hair or something? Like, come on.
Maybe the mother's hair used to be pink, but it became white with age.
Well, she became Majesty, okay? She had to become Majesty.
I think Majesty's hair started out white and then became like multicolored.
Did you get ready?
Yes, Father.
Is that door upside down? The doorknob is. Oh wait, actually. Oh, I see what they did. Because the doorknob is actually so far up because most people would be flying in order to like open it. Kind of implies they should have like shorter doors that aren't attached to the floor, to be perfectly honest. But still nice environmental storytelling there. I almost didn't notice it.
Yes?
Are you not coming?
Coming where?
To the...
Okay, but I will say...
her going through the door, I think she clipped through the door. I think she clipped through the door a little bit.
Because the gacha heads are so massive that they have to clip through that space.
Okay.
This is a custom background, so I would have made the back...
Okay, so how I personally would have got her through the door is I would have like started pulling her forward, but also have her move to the side a little bit with the open door, because I assume the door that was open is like on a completely different layer.
I'll just make it beyond smaller so they could fit through.
True, but then you kind of like move to the side so she's not kind of facing through the wall to get inside the door.
That is also true, yeah. Like considering that characters will usually move from left to right anyway, or left or right on like the 2D plane. Yeah, it should be like on the side and then just like saunter in. That would be implied. Yeah, I think we've done that in the past actually.
Fitting. There's a gala, remember?
Oh, right. Those are for princesses only. And besides, I have somewhere else I need to go.
Well, I mean, you're going to Royal Family Academy.
Hold on. So wait a minute. So let me just get this straight. So there's a gala for students. They were not informed of the gala until right now. However, Rosabella happens to know that the gala is happening Not only that, but also knows that it's princesses only, but yet the Princess of Princesses, which is the title that Pink actually has, was unaware of this gala even happening. Who was in charge of PR for this thing?
Rosa, you got lost out there. You need this.
But
Whoa.
You got lost out there. What you need is intense social activity. Your favorites.
Are you lost?
I'm sorry?
Not anymore. I was earlier. That's why I'm here, allegedly.
You should be.
I will proceed to do nothing about this matter. Good day.
I am the worst bully in all history, apparently.
By the way, I love the fact they've got like mannequin dresses in the background that are not proportionate to any of the characters in this show.
What do you mean? Don't you know about all the tall, slender, non-chibi humans in this world?
With
what do
massive
you
hips
mean?
as well.
What do you mean? That's totally a thing in this world. Trust me. Yeah. I just throw some of these mannequins on and you just be like, yeah, guys, this is totally they're humans that fit this with the art style. They're humans that fit this exact body type.
Oh yeah, actually, I did kind of hear that cut. I thought it was StreamYard messing up a bit, but since you said it, yeah, I do know that. The king kind of cut and then said something about a gala afterwards. So I think that might have been not necessarily that the two words were like added in, because that would have thought that was like a bit of cut like afterwards as well. I think it was more of a case the two lines were like spliced together from separate takes, but they weren't spaced out enough to seem like a normal conversation. That's like a bit of like an audio thing that is always difficult to deal with, I suppose, when you just happen to have like a couple of parts of a take that will work, but not with the rest of it, and you have to like clip and pick and choose. Yeah, I've had that situation many times. Yeah.
Take a look at the dresses. I know.
Oh, look, actual Gacha dresses over there.
Yeah.
That's
probably,
actual stuff that's proportionate to the character design.
Because they need to put them on for later, so yeah.
Fitting room. Well, I choose some dresses for you.
Emma, thank you.
Like, she just takes the dress off that mannequin and be like, what about this dress? It's like, that's not any of our body types in this universe. This universe, that wouldn't fit anyone.
It's like, I can't get this over my gotcha head. Wait a second.
She just rips the dress like, oh, oops.
Man, okay, let me pick out the 3 dresses for you. This could be a very short fashion montage. Speaking of which,
Let's start with this.
One thing I do like that we actually have them like hung up on the same thing and like let it over each other rather than just like in one like vertically from one another, because that's how they would be. That's how they would be positioned in reality. So yeah, again,
I like how when she like moved the thing, like the dresses like moved. Honestly, I think movement of clothes and stuff in this actually really impressive. Like, it's one of those like details that on it, like, besides like just character animation, you don't technically always have to animate the clothes, but the fact that they went the extra mile and are animating clothes, I think it's kind of a cool aspect.
Yeah,
you know,
it's one of those things that like everyone's brains have been trained to tune out with Gacha specifically. But yeah, when you notice it's there,
because like honestly, in Gacha, clothes look really weird. Like with some of the poses, like the dresses are really like really.
Anyway, speaking of weird clothes.
Okay, so I will say I like the dress. My main issue with it though is one, there isn't any sleeves, which is fine, but I would have added like some like over the like just off the shoulders style sleeves.
Plenty of dresses don't have sleeves, Aiden.
Well, yeah, but like it's the fact that she also has no necklace, nothing around her neck, nothing like above, like one after above.
Those
the dress.
could be like separate accessories.
Yeah.
And in this school, you probably expect that a lot of these students like have brought their own jewelry. Quite honestly,
yeah, that's probably how I would do it. Like, add some jewelry to dress, and I think the dress kind of would be perfect, just from a design standpoint. You know, because like it looks kind of empty there.
Well, yeah. Remember also that this is meant to be a montage of like trying stuff that might not necessarily work. You know how like in lots of fashion stuff, they'll start off by going like, for like the
Okay,
first few
so
things, and then
I
eventually you find the right thing.
I like this dress. The outlines of the top of the dress need to be darker because I think they're the same color as the dress, which isn't the greatest. Granted, this dress probably could use like some short sleeves. Maybe I know not all dresses are gonna have sleeves, but I think again I would have added sleeves to this, like some short sleeves or something.
I think the outlines actually are darker, but not by very much towards the bottom of the dress.
Oh no! I was talking about the top. The bottom of the dress, the outlines are darker. The top of the dress, they're the same color.
Okay, yeah, then
It
yeah.
doesn't look as good as it could. Also, by the way, with the black dress we're about to see, what is that like weird white cream like accent? Like I hate that shade of white because it's like a off-white, creamy style color white, and I hate that color with the black. Like it looks atrocious.
Yeah.
Like maybe if it was like orange
this
paired
contest
with
is like it's always the same outfit, so this wouldn't work for them. Well, we'll see what the dress looks like on Rosa herself.
I mean,
there we go. Now we can judge it properly.
Again, the white cream color doesn't look very good. You either should go for like a straight up white or maybe like a grayish color, I think. Also, it doesn't help that like white cream color is similar to her skin tone, which isn't also great color, because when colors shouldn't be too confusing when they're meant to be different colors, and it's like,
Before I comment on that, let's see what the reaction is.
So, I don't think it's the right one yet.
Yeah, the red dress.
Yeah, see, there we go. So this
is
what I was saying before. These dresses, like as much as you can say, like, okay, these don't work for whatever reason. In this context, that's kind of the point, that they don't work properly.
Well, actually, I think the blue dress worked fine as long as you had some sort of jewelry. The red dress worked decent as long as you added either short sleeves or, again, like some bracelets or something to like just spruce it up. The black dress, I just don't think works at all. Like the black dress just flat out doesn't really work with the way the skirt's designed.
Well, neither do the characters, so that's appropriate.
You know what? You should just get ready yourself.
Just try this last.
That's also a fair point.
Oh, try this last one. You know that whole montage we had.
Yeah, now you're getting into the spirit, Aiden. Now you understand the formula.
Oh
here.
no, I always understood the formula.
Then why did you complain about the different dresses not working?
Because I like talking about outfits and how to make each of the dresses work. God.
Even when they're not supposed to work.
No,
why would you make dresses work when they're not supposed to for the character?
They were close to working, and also with a montage like this, I guess a major issue.
No, you're not tripping. That's a new haircut. Thank you.
A major issue I would have with some of the with montage like that is keep in mind, going into the montage that none of the dresses are going to actually be picked, which is kind of
and yet here we are.
But dang. It worked so much better than that Hello Boss short, when they did a thing. Mostly because they did various different outfit styles that look very different from each other and changed the hair and stuff.
I will agree with that. Yeah, they work better for me when you do different styles. Fashion is so vast that you
and honestly, with dresses, I think you get sky's the limits with some part with the way you design a dress and stuff. Honestly, with the dress itself, I feel like you could have got very, very different styles of dresses for each one. Maybe a full-on ball gown for one. Maybe a very short dress for one. Maybe one that has sleeves or something.
I guess the only issue with that would potentially be that if this is a gala where you're expected to wear a certain type of dress, they wouldn't have made those available for the students.
Maybe,
yeah. Not sure. Well, again, we'll see what this last one's
Then I'll get ready.
Because they're keeping it as a secret. We have not even see it on the rack. So,
and then we're going to cut to the next scene where she's wearing the nice dress and we're meant to go, ooh. Which, by the way, if we got to the next scene and we see her in the new dress and it looks ugly and worse than some of the other dresses she had here, I'm going to facepalm so hard.
Yeah, and in that case, I will say nothing about it because that will make sense if it's meant to be the one that works.
All right.
She's so bored. It's like, this was my idea.
Oh my god!
I'm in a prison of my own
How
design.
long does it take to put on a dress? Oh my god!
Okay, the reaction implies that this is the dress.
Okay, this is
that
a
she's
good dress. Yeah.
She will say yes to this dress, and
Say
but will
yes.
we? Let's see.
That looks.
I didn't mean that to rhyme. Oh my god! I just realized after I said that.
Perfect.
Or maybe we're just gonna. Oh wait, maybe we're gonna like wait until the.
We're gonna wait till
itself,
next scene.
like the girl itself, to reveal what it's like.
It's gonna be like,
We
oh my
should
god, she's so pretty. Wow.
Do something about your hair.
Wait,
Ooh,
are you kidding? Her hair stays exactly the same as it always does. It doesn't move at all, even when falling off the cliff.
I need to talk about the boys' suits. The boys' suits look really nice, which is weird because normally I never get the chance to actually talk about good male fashion in this because most of the time when it's like, oh, here's a suit, it's like a dark blue suit or a black suit with a very boring tie. Listen, male fashion, I am so bored with. I can't with a lot of male fashion. It's like these designs are trash, but these designs are cute. They feel regal. The colors just straight up pop. Like, it's just great. See, listen, people walking the red carpet. This is the kind of male fashion you should do. Not wearing a basic black suit. Problem with male fashion. They are so boring. And they're like, oh, well, it's classy. No, it's boring. You're not even trying.
Again, they're not mutually exclusive.
Like, I mean, like you stand next to like some girl wearing like some super cool looking dress with cool accents and stuff, and then you just have a boring black suit.
What you're looking at.
Problems of male fashion because people are
that are not present here.
Yeah. I love also by the way, I was
fashion in Gacha, the choice is slim. I think Aiden's talking about more than just Gacha. I think it's talking about media in general because he mentioned the red carpet by name, so I imagine he means like live action as well. So
like listen, it's just in comparison. Like if women's fashion was just as boring as male fashion, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But you have like all these pretty designs for like female fashion, and then you cut to men's fashion where it's like everyone's wearing the same outfit.
Yes, you've made your point already. Thank you for repeating it.
Yes,
but yeah, in the case of applying this to Gacha,
I want to wear the guy with blue hair suit, like the light blue jacket and like the gold.
Yeah, so this is what I was trying to say just now. So these clothes, I think they're from a particular mod, or they might have been like custom designs. Because that's
well, it's animation.
That's why this is so good in comparison, is because they've been collected from elsewhere, not just from the main game. So that's for the case of Gacha itself, you're kind of stuck. In the case of real life, yes, I see you do better. Fine.
Speaking of Gacha though, I think well, it's not really Gacha. Speaking of Gacha related stuff, Chibimation, I think like for what some of the assets I saw for Chibimation look really fancy and really unique. So I don't know. I don't think it'll be as big of an issue whenever Chibimation comes out because I'm pretty sure they have a lot more unique assets that they actually try to make somewhat interesting looking.
I guess it also depends like the context in which you're able to apply it, because obviously for a gala this stuff works perfectly. If they wore this every day, it would kind of get boring.
Oh yeah, no, every day it wouldn't really work.
Yeah. Let me see plants. Those are weird looking plants. We're in a world of fairies.
We're in a fairy magical world. I don't know. I mean, realistic plants.
It's a miracle you're not asleep at this hour. Is there something going on?
What about you? Aren't you going to fly?
I don't know the way with the animation now that the wings actually do like flop down when they're not using them.
Away as usual.
Touché. No, seriously. I thought you didn't like festivities. Why the change of heart?
It was time for a change.
A change?
Okay, they've said the word change in 3 lines in a row. Like, come on.
Is it a girl?
What? No.
Who's the unlucky?
I like the fact that he was about to say who's the unlucky lady rather than the lucky lady. Because these two are like okay with each other now, but they have had a rocky relationship.
Yeah.
Well, it's who's the speaking of the lucky lady or the unlucky lady. There we go. All right.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
Comments.
So the dress is actually cute. I actually don't have complaints with the dress. And like, keep in mind, I'm pretty sure the creator also messed with her hair a lot more and like made it like swoop down a little more, which gives her more of an elegant vibe.
We did actually get a line before that said that let's do something with your hair, so that would make sense.
And like the blue, the light blue mixed with like the purplish pink flowers looks really good. Like it
I like
gives
how she kept like her regular flower in her hair, but just added a new one on top of it as well.
Yeah. But also what really helps the design is the fact that she's wearing like, I think it's like a pearl necklace as well. And that pearl necklace like really helps fill in some of the space around her neck, because if that wasn't there, like if the pearl necklace wasn't there, that all that upper space above like up to her head would have felt really empty and would have felt really kind of strange, because like
And
the
it's got
dress
sleeves
gets cut
too.
off.
Hayden approves.
Yeah. See, I like dresses without sleeves. I think those are cool, but I think dresses with sleeves are cool. I like those a lot too, because you can get a lot of cool fashion designs out of it. Okay, I'm into fashion. Listen,
It matches her wings. That's true. As far as the tiny arms go, I think it's because like it seems like her entire body type has been morphed by this, including her head.
yeah.
Actually,
No, her whole body type has kind of been. I wouldn't say ultra.
it's been live 2Dified.
But it's more of a it's slimmer and less chibi.
I think she's also got earrings too now.
Ooh, yeah. Honestly, earrings are like one of my go-to design traits when it comes to certain characters. If I want to add more,
Mode agrees. That was the problem with the Empress account.
If I want to add more stuff going on with them, especially because like if a character has little white on them, I may just add a white earring if their ear is showing, because like, hey, this adds a bit more white into the design that they already had. You know, so it's like, hey, let's put a little white there.
She built like an hourglass. No, she's built like an hourglass with like a giant lid on top being the head. That's the difference.
You know, I guess
Anyway.
with this video and like designing all the, I think most of the effort went into designing all the new outfits. She was like, okay, they need to look all pretty.
Yeah, which is again why the other dresses did not look so. These boys have a lot more chemistry than Rosa does with them. Can the two boys just kiss? Because two boys and Rosa have a like relationship. I'm sick of this tug of war love triangle. Honestly, agreed. That's probably where Garance came from in the first place. But also, kind of reminds me a bit of like the issue with the Green Knight actually, where Tomy had way more chemistry with all of his guy friends than he did with like Sunshine or anyone. So yeah, those are giving me Cinderella vibes. The silver dress, not the blue dress she's depicted with. That's more of like the Disney-fied interpretation. Like I've seen different illustrations and other stuff that's not based on that. Adrian is just not happy about this. Like, oh, that's the lady.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I would not have faded down the music like this. Honestly, keep the music playing. Don't fade it down yet. You know, it can keep going for a bit now while they're still reacting.
Did I interrupt you?
Actually, you did. Stop. She might believe you.
But it's true. That was exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Why? Are you embarrassed? We used to do this all the time.
Adrian.
Do what? Talk on a balcony and then get in and then stop talking as soon as a pretty lady walks in? Is that your childhood activity you're recalling now?
Childhood. Just talking to your friends and then staring at a woman as soon as she walks by. Obby.
I'm just imagining like a sketch where like one of those like terrible like Instagram comedy videos where it's just somebody like, you know, they're having like a regular conversation or something. They see like a woman walk past. They both go like. So, anyways, like I was saying,
and then immediately after another woman walks by and they're like, so what I was saying was,
yeah, pretty much.
Anyways, basically what I think she should do is. Just like the whole video is just with them constantly just staring at women.
There's like there's a whole like group that like walks by or something. And
No, a giant line of them, a giant line, and they're staring for ages.
That's too much of a budget for Instagram comedy. They need to like.
You know what? We can make a skit video about that.
Oh yeah, we absolutely.
We'll make a skit video about that. It'll be hilarious.
I don't know if that's gonna get. We need to give the context if that's the case, but sure.
Okay.
Well, it'll be
I'll
done
stop.
in flashback. Like first we start in present day when they like stare at their crush walking in, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, we did this all the time." Cut away to the flashback.
I too see that Rosa's dress looks like reminds me of Isabella at least a little bit. It's the flowers mainly, because that was like Isabella's whole thing.
Okay.
Bella, you look astonishing.
Astonishing.
Thank
Ooh,
you.
big word.
They're not always an issue.
Astonishing, huh? Go away.
Wow, Aiden and Adrian agree.
Oh wait, his name's Aiden.
So?
Oh God, forgot about that.
Wait, isn't it? Well, yeah, Adrian, but yeah.
Is she the
Adrian,
reason
oh.
why you can't sleep?
That was Aiden.
And
Oh
you?
God, I was about to be
That
like,
girl who
no,
saved you.
I don't want to hear my name. I don't want to hear your character attached with my name. It's weird.
Have you found her yet? Not yet.
I think we did find like an Aiden character in a different video.
Yeah, I think there was one Gacha video where someone was named Aiden and was like, "Oh God, this is gonna be really awkward."
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like me talking about Sean for Music Freaks.
Don't worry. You'll be the first person I introduce her to.
But to be fair,
better.
you mostly go by Jacob, at least online.
Yeah, at least
So,
online.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's less confusing in a review because I don't go by anything else. Like I don't have a secret real name. My real name is Aiden.
Yeah,
my actual name is Aiden.
I love the fact that like Nova's name is Reina, and at one point he actually like broke character doing lines from Morwenna, saying like it's weird for him to say his own name when referring to other people. So yeah, couldn't see that. Xander's hair needs a more needs a more expressive V8. Oh, it's saying Xander here. Okay, sorry. Like Xander's hair. Does Xander's hair have a different VA?
Well, you see, in each voice actor series, the hair has its own VA. You know, whenever the hair moves in the wind, they just have a different VA come on and go.
Something about the pacing, like a chase scene. Oh.
Just slap a face on Xander's hair. It'd be great.
You're calling him Xander. Oh, okay, right, got it.
I'm your best friend. So, do you need my help? No, thanks. That would be a
Aren't you
disaster.
technically competing for the same woman?
Well, yeah, but he's not gonna reveal that. Adrian is cool under pressure, unlike Eric here. It's like Garth and Lawrence in a sense. One of them turns into a jury of 9-member, another one just is able to keep his cool a little bit more than the other.
Well, actually, Lawrence, after finding out Aphma was pregnant, literally was like, "How dare she! I'm going to the Nether now. Goodbye." that was literally
how,
Lawrence in season 2. It was a thing.
Yeah, I was referring to like My Street versions of them, but yeah, that too. I mean, Gareth's reaction was, of course, the one scene that Aphma was, it felt like she was forced to write. So yeah, that's why his one lives more in infamy. But yeah, Lawrence too in that situation.
I mean, Lawrence's reaction was kind of the worst, although it's more fitting of Lawrence's character than it was Gareth's character because it didn't really fit with Gareth's character very much.
That's probably why it felt more forced. Yeah.
Aphma, you're such a hussy! How dare you!
I mean, Gareth, I don't think he.
I should stone you, wench! I should stone you!
I mean, he didn't say that, but it felt like it. Anyway, Rose and the boys must be looking like they have their magical girl-boy transformation. Which was about to be to when I decided what to finally watch Sailor Moon. Yeah, I've been meaning to for years, but I keep forgetting. But yeah. Here's everyone. Yeah, with significantly plainer outfits. Clearly all the effort went into like the 3 leads, which I guess sort of makes sense.
Okay, that I actually realistically don't mind too much, just because.
Hold on, did the music just cut out when we got into?
Is that
the music was playing for like a second, and then it just.
There's no music. Also, blue-haired girl, wear your sleeves. Your dress.
Okay,
looks
I think I might know
atrocious.
what happened here. because that particular guitar piece, I actually kind of recognize. It was actually, I think it was played in American Dad at one point, but I think it actually does come from like somewhere else. But I'm pretty sure that might mean that it was copyrighted, and that wasn't. And by the time this came to upload, it was like, nope, we can't get it out, chop it away. But then it's like, wait, we need more music. Don't care.
But also, I feel like Pink over here should have a choker or a necklace or something. I mean, her neck isn't too barren, but it's still a little bit barren. Also,
so the same issue with we're saying about some of the other dresses.
Also, I hate her dress purely because keep in mind this is animated. This is animated. So what I would have did in my art program is I would have went there and connected the top part of the dress with the bottom part of the dress, because that ball gown bottom part of the dress is supposed to connect with your top part of your dress. So I would have at least
the top part is too small. If this were designed to be like a two-piece,
no, but I'm saying no.
I would have done is like shrink it down a little bit to like at least match her waist.
This is animated. This is animated. Therefore,
I know it's animated, but I'm saying if the intention was to have them be a two-piece, not saying the gacha intention, I mean the actual in-universe intention was to be a two-piece, then I would have at least like shrunk it down to fit her waistline a bit more, because it does seem like it's falling off her slightly.
Okay, yeah, if that's the case, then yeah. But if it's meant to be a single dress, fill in that gap. Literally, just go into your art program. This is animated. If it wasn't animated, I wouldn't be saying this. But once we go into animation, that's like, there's not really much of a reason to not do that, because you're already making the models as is. You're already rigging things. Might as well go the extra mile.
Yeah,
and like fix some of the gacha issues.
This is a good example, by the way, of me and like the guest on Gacha Review changing the form of criticism based on the level that the video creator is at, artistically speaking, Whereas now we're going into like some, we've been going into some really intense stuff here, because we've had the jump to animation, and that does, come with certain issues.
Also from a dress standpoint. I was gonna say Miss Pink over there. I personally would have made her dress. I would have made her dress more reminiscent of her eye color than her hair color, because the dress is slightly different than her hair color. But I would have made it her eye color in general, because I think that would have looked a little bit better. Because it being a slightly darker version of her hair color looks a little bit strange.
Oh yeah, liquor store. I think I'm missing a few flasks. Can I ship them back, or should I come to the store myself? Oh no. Anyway, Rosa's head's back to normal. Good to know. It was shrunken down temporarily, and now it's back to. But now it doesn't match the rest of her. Jeez.
First glance, you would think she's royalty.
Stop ruining my night, Ori.
I'm sorry, Pink. Why don't I make it up to you?
I'm sorry, Pink. Why don't I make it up to you? Mike Wazowski.
I like the sound of that.
I have an idea.
Don't ruin her nice
That's
dress.
not her ear! Move the head, tilt the head into the ear. What is it with everyone's problem with tilting heads in Gacha? We had this talk like 2 days ago.
Okay, no, but seriously though, look at her eye color. I think her eye color would have made a better color for the dress than her actual
problem
dress
is
color.
the problem is her name is Pink because she's got a branding, but sure. I'm more concerned about Ori whispering to her shoulder at the moment.
Thank you, fellow royals, for coming tonight. These first 3 months have been marvelous.
That microphone is unplugged in! You can see the end of the cable.
Okay, my advice for this item was probably found like on Free Pick or something. Go into the item and erase the cord, or at least erase the plug.
Know. Put a different item down there. That's like, I don't know, a speaker of some kind, a miniature.
Oh, put a speaker in front of the screen. Obscure it. Obscure your problems. Hello, Emily.
You know, another thing that could have been done, actually, keep the cable part, but not the part that joins in or is supposed to be connected to something else. Just like paint over those, implying the microphone cable goes into the ground and it's pointing to something like underneath the stage. Unless you want to move it, of course, in which case, yeah, probably not a good idea.
with you all. As a token of appreciation, I would like to welcome one special classmate on stage. Rosabella, would you please sing for us? Let's give Rosabella a hand, everybody.
This is an attempt at humiliation because I haven't heard Rosabella sing yet, but actually, no, we have because there was a singing competition in like previous episodes.
Isn't she the royal singer? Which by the way, did the royal singer concept get dropped? Because I don't remember that being mentioned in
It hasn't been brought up as of recently, so it might have been. It's been a few episodes.
Okay, okay. Like sometimes when stuff isn't mentioned for a few episodes, it technically ends up getting dropped or ignored, pretty much.
No, I understand that. It's just that it hasn't had a reason to come into the plot at all.
Yeah,
since
but
it was originally visited, so it could be either way. I'm saying that it's possible that you're right, but I can't confirm or deny that.
For what I remember about episode 1, though, that's what kick-started the plot, though. Or like
no. That was the Royale singer was like a couple episodes into it.
Oh.
Yeah, episode 1 was more of a case of like she delivered flowers to the queen. There was one commoner that was allowed into the place. It was like, yes, you gave me flowers. Here's an acceptance letter.
Therefore, you must be a good person. Therefore, you must be worthy of going into the Royal Fairy Academy.
Essentially,
obviously.
yes. And here we are.
Wait a minute. If she's the one exception, like she's the one non-royal in the school, then how can the ball? Why would they have to specify the ball is royals only?
Actually, you know what? Also,
why would you? Well, how would that work? Because that would just be like only you're.
I guess
not
the
allowed.
guards weren't invited. I don't know. But also, now that you bring that up again, actually, Rose didn't say that it was royals only. She said it was princesses only. So what the heck are the princes doing here?
Oh well, the quote unquote princes have a secret that everyone knows except for her? Question mark. They're not princesses. They're not princesses. They're not princes. They're princesses.
They're all APABs, assigned princess at birth.
Exactly.
But then assigned prince at birth is the same acronym, so that doesn't really work. But whatever.
It's like GILF, you know, grandma I would or grandpa I would. You know, you have to use the same acronym, which that doesn't work anymore. Unlike MILF and DILF.
I guess. But then again, those ones are already bad to begin with because you already have like "I'd" in there, which is already a contraction of 2 separate words. But anyway,
what?
Rosabella, you don't want to.
I don't think she knows that. If I recall, they were all mastered during the competition, so I guess now she thinks like, "Oh yes, you're gonna humiliate her," but then she was like, "Wait, that voice! I recognize that voice! It was you!" And then that's gonna.
It was Agatha all along.
Yes. Why be a prince when you could be a princess? Good question. To which Marco Diaz found the answer very quickly. Anyway, yes, humiliation. The only bullies can think of causing her victims. I guess it's true that again, my bullies were just jerks. I mean, humiliation is a classic. I say that knowing full well that Pop did something very similar in the Music Girl, but it, and the solution was to have that backfire. So yeah, humiliation is a powerful tool, no matter which way you spin it.
Keep us waiting, do you?
I'm good.
Ooh, okay, that's Live 2D being slow is usually a problem, but that slow grin, that actually that sold it for me.
Why would you do it? Don't do it. Evil laugh now.
You still.
Yeah, you gotta wait him for a bit. You gotta go into the corner first. So it doesn't get picked up by the microphone. It's not plugged into anything.
The guts to show your face after this.
What? She's just gonna quit the school after getting embarrassed?
Apparently, yes.
I got so embarrassed during high school multiple times. You think I just was like, I'm quitting high school. I can't do this anymore.
Were you ever forced to sing in front of a crowd by yourself?
No, but I sung willingly, not well, but I sung Panic.
That's fair. I say that I
chose to make it. I chose that was my choice.
Yeah, I actually I actually thought they performed like a rap for my like my end of year, the Leavers Assembly. That was the whole part of it. And that was the one and only time I ever dabbed on stage as well, because it was 2016 and that was what everyone demanded that I did.
Okay, Emily, I need to ask you the question. Now let's play a fun game called Who's the Main Characters? Is it the people with the custom outfits or the people with default gacha outfits? I wonder. Who's the main character? Oh god, it's anime all over again.
Yep.
Who's the main characters of Yu-Gi-Oh? Is it the people with crazy hair? I wonder.
To be honest, with later Yu-Gi-Oh, it becomes increasingly hard to tell. But yeah.
Yeah, which
Why are you just sitting there? Let's go.
What? What are you going to do?
They're gonna dance, I think. Maybe I don't know.
Two.
Or they're gonna sing with her.
Okay.
You didn't think we'd let you have all the fun, did you?
Oh my god!
You
It's
don't
the music
have
freaks,
mics.
Guys.
What is going to amplify your voices?
Instruments. He has a keyboard. Guitar.
Yeah, but they're not plugged into anything either.
Well,
Let's
the
make some
room's echoey or something. I don't know.
Memories?
It's the music
Let's make
freaks,
some
guys.
memories. A classic teenager line.
It's the music freaks. Yay.
Yeah, thing is, we've heard him sing already. We know he's good. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. So she was like tentatively going like, maybe. But the thing is, like, surely if they know the song that they're going to perform together, then she would know what the cue is, right?
So what if she are they just like strumming their instruments and just like they're hitting the trampoline, hitting the keyboard and stuff, just hoping that they all can play somewhat well in unison.
Yeah,
and
they
then
didn't
she can
agree
make
on
up
a
a song.
This has not been run by anyone.
I agree.
I would love it
Emily.
if they
She's
all
eating the mic.
wait a minute. Best joke ever would be if like they all started playing different songs at the same time. They're like, wait, stop, guys. Okay, what are we doing? I want to see that joke in like a Battle of the Bands or like a impromptu musical number moment somewhere someday. That sounds amazing.
What? If the Mrs. Dysart show has a Battle of the Bands arc, which would be weird but could happen.
Doesn't that mean we have to get the VAs to sing? Like they didn't all sign up for that.
No, we'll just have a VA sing. The other will do instruments.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I already asked Emily if she'd be up for singing the Mrs. Dysart show. So, Evelyn, lead singer, arc.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, also there's obviously Franklin too.
Yeah, true. I mean, if anything, duets possible.
Also, she's trying to eat the mic. She's going nom nom.
Yeah, I said yes, and now I'm locked in the basement. I mean, it fits Evelyn's character a bit more than it does Franklin's. In all fairness, actually,
yeah,
unless we want to go the Troy Bolton angle with Franklin, it's like I'm into sports and singing at the same time.
Well, I mean, at least him investing himself into singing is a good way to, to be interested in something that he can physically do.
That's actually kind of true, because now that I think about it, I remember that when I was in drama school, there was a guy who his biggest dream in life was to become a rugby star, and he actually he was actually playing like a really good team at the time, but at some point he actually got like severely injured, and he actually broke one of his bones. I think it was his collarbone or something, and they had to actually replace it with a metal implant, and thus he was no longer allowed to play rugby. So, and that's why he switched to his new passion, which was theater. So that was like a huge thing for him. So actually, technically speaking, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, just a more extreme example. Imagine forcing Franklin and Evelyn to duets.
I mean, maybe they'll work on their relationship / friendship, and not be as antagonistic as him constantly trying to hit on her after they dated once and that going awry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, if anything, they'd be forced to work together because they have to get along, unless they're against each other, and that's the battle.
Ooh. Battle.
It depends on like how that gets sorted. It probably would be done by class if that's the case, because they were, that's like a group of them. They would form a band together. But yeah, I don't know. Just
what would it be called? The class, Mrs. Dysart in the class.
Mrs. Dysart and the class. That's assuming that Mrs. Dysart's in the band
no,
herself.
she is not in the band.
Yeah, like why would they?
Or you know what'd be funny if I had Mrs. Dysart technically a part of the band, but she like was in the back with a tambourine, just hitting it on occasion, barely doing anything. I think that'd be pretty funny. It's like, yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
I suppose. Yeah, honestly, Mrs. Dysart's English class would be technically for like
I know the Mrs. Dysarts, the Mrs. Dysarts.
I just mean if you want like another mutant girl callback, but yeah, that's
Josie in the Mrs. Dysarts in the class. I don't know. I was thinking Josie
Mrs. and the Dysarts.
Mrs. and the Dysart.
Mrs. Dysart's mythical band. That works. That works.
Oh, that would work.
Okay.
You had me at hello.
I guess also it's worth pointing out that no one started doing anything because I guess they didn't know what song was going to be played. So good thing this one just starts with a piano.
Cause where you go is where
Not with a piano, sorry, I'm looking at the keyboard in the background with a guitar. I meant to say.
I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you.
Singing I love a song.
Yeah, love how there's no echo on the microphone anymore, even though that was the thing when they were speaking.
You got
Okay.
me too.
So just one thing about this that I personally find kind of strange is because like the way like I think for what I know about the series up to this point, I don't think she's picked the man at all. I don't think she's picked the guy and they're like on episode like 12 or something.
This is episode 6.
No, I'm highlighting that for a reason. I don't think she's picked the man at this point, and even in the modern day part of the story, I don't think she's picked someone.
Okay.
And it personally kind of annoys me because this episode feels like we're heavily leaning into a ship being confirmed, but the fact that we're at a point in the story where the ship hasn't been confirmed and we're several episodes down the line, I kind of like. Come on, stop dragging your heels. Like,
hey, this is the same episode we had the slow motion running with the other guy.
Oh yeah, darn it!
But
curses. This is one of the reasons why I hate love triangles. It's because it's like just pick a man already. Like, just pick a man. It's just frustrating. It's like
not that easy for like the actual person sometimes. Because that's a tough decision. Imagine if you had two people that you had a crush on, and you were like, "Okay, which one do I actively like? Invest my time in trying to pursue."
Yeah, but also it's not really too fair to either of the guys because then the guys are both sitting there constantly gaining points and like potentially losing points.
Yeah, but she can't help that either.
Yeah, but like, come on, like you didn't even. I don't know. I just kind of
like that puts a lot of like unfair pressure on her. To be perfectly honest.
I kind of wish she would just eventually pick a man. Okay, just pick a man right now. And don't wait to the end of the story to pick a man. That's not how this works. Pick a man. I can't. Hey, I don't have options. Okay? To pick something,
but if you did, that would be a tough decision. We know what you're like under pressure.
I don't know if it would be. I don't know. At a certain point, I mean, I kind of know what I want. Or, well, I kind of know what I want in this situation.
I mean, what if two people tick those boxes?
Oh, please. I'm not that lucky.
Okay, but again, imagine you're in a situation where you are. I don't know. Imagine that you end up being the one commoner in a old royal academy by sheer luck. And so you end up in this situation to begin with. It's already unfathomably lucky.
Well, for starters, I would most likely end up realistically picking the person who is expressly into me and not potentially into me.
That's true as well, actually.
Because, I hate with these love triangles where it's like one person who's expressed his feelings, said he liked me and stuff, and is really caring towards me. Other person who barely has said they like me and could potentially like me. I like them, but they don't know if they like me or not. But person who's open with their feelings. But also the person who hasn't been open with their feelings may like me and I may be happy with them. I don't know. It's like... I don't know.
I like Cinderella's, which is fine.
I find it ridiculous when someone's expressing their feelings to you and the other person may or may not like you. It's like, one person likes you. You don't know if the other person likes you or not. and the other person probably won't tell you that they like you. They may only show it in small instances, you know, like caring about you and stuff. So it's like, I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's like, if they're not going to tell you they like you at a certain point, and the other person's being super upfront with their feelings, you know who to go for realistically. You know, it kind of is weird to go for the person who's not upfront with you with their feelings because they may or may not like you, or at least not like you as much as you like them. I think it's copyrighted, by the way. I swear this song's copyrighted.
I feel like it's too late. We've already played enough of this song.
Oh no, I know. I mean, I'm not saying rumors spread the video. I'm just saying I'm pretty sure the song's copyrighted. I swear I heard this somewhere.
You probably did. I mean, it didn't get claimed along with the guitar track from the gala itself, but there you go.
Which,
Also,
by the way, if it is copyrighted music, try not to include copyrighted music in an animated voice acted project that you're spending weeks upon hours making, as all, or even months. It's just my general advice and recommendation, because like, why would you put all that work on a channel that's monetized?
Unless you're Rosie Closet and you get you get like the license for the things, but then also that means that anyone reacting to them is doomed.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Definitely
as long as the original video is monetized, that's all that technically matters.
I still love the fact that the only song that I got a copyright claim on in any of the Music Freaks reviews was the custom
original
one. Yeah. It's like,
how?
You went through all the picking stuff that wouldn't get claimed, and you make something that will claim other people. Not a good look. Final copyright tracks for Final Break took me like 2 weeks. You mean you'd say you found all the tracks you want to use for everything so far? You've written like 2 episodes.
No, I think she's referencing for intro music or like lyrical songs.
Oh, okay. I thought I was doing the theme for that one. I thought
yeah. Wow, you betrayed him, and I know you'll never feel sorry. For da 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 da. You betrayed.
Anyway, I was going to point out 2 things. First of all, it seems like the friend of whose name I've forgotten has taken your idea that this is dice arts and just had a tambourine there. And Adrian seems to be, I guess he was not present during the singer thing, because his reaction immediately was like, oh wait, I'm hearing it for the first time. Whoa, she's got pipes. Anyway. Those are definitely the lyrics, Aiden. See, you should have come to us. Or well, I guess you did come to us, but you should have continued to come to us.
You should, you know, if you want original songs and it, just contact Jacob and I'll sing it. I'll sing part of it if he wants. It'll be great.
Yeah,
I like helping out with songs. Honestly, projects I do, I turn to borderline musicals sometimes by implementing random musical numbers because I love song numbers in shows. Song numbers are great.
So do I. That's why I wanted to play a bard in Quest the Rising Sun.
I wanna do what you want to.
Okay, I like how we have like the what's clearly actually like an electronic like mini pad or something. Like I'm like, I know that because I have one upstairs. But that's like used as the tambourine in this case because the song didn't have one.
We can leave and run away.
You know, I think that's actually a drum. Like, I think like the foot stomp part of the drum, where it's like on the bottom of the thing. I think the like thump is that.
Yeah, it just reminds me of like what like a MIDI pad makes a drum sound like. But yes, I think it's like on a drum setting.
Oh, her arm is a little bit broken right there.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, Rosa's arm. Oh no, you're right.
Rosa broke her arm. Oopsie doopsie.
Someday.
We can leave it all behind.
Someday. I've been saved.
That was a good like zoom out. It's a classic thing to do, like during the chorus, to zoom out from like an perspective, but like I like when it happens. And now Adrian just like I don't.
Why is he horrifying? Why is
look
that?
at that!
He kind of looks like your OC.
They put me in.
Why are
You
you
know,
OC?
I made a joke about like how many things seem reminiscent of the mutant girl in this show in the past, not just this episode, but in general. Here I am. The more stuff happens in this show, the more convinced I am that same DNA is a secret mutant girl.
He looks like your OC, but if your OC had horrific colors. Like if you went to your OC, is like, okay, the suit's a bright blue, green accent, green star pupil. Oh man, this hair. Yeah, this bright blue with this bright green outline. Real pretty.
I guess
what
blue
a
and green
real
are the colors that one would associate with me because I talked about my hair color being
Yeah, but
green,
you have-
but
you
also
have-
blue not being used in the park because I wanted to green screen myself.
Yeah, but like you have better choice of blue, for example. That shade of blue is horrible.
Jacob X Sonic Love Child. I'm Sonic Secret. This is Sonic Secret Love Child.
Oh man,
okay.
Jacob, I didn't know you had such a good relationship with Sonic. Ooh.
Oh, there I go.
Doesn't she sound familiar?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it.
Oh, I like her eye twitching.
Okay, I love the
Pink's
eye
eye twitching was great. Like she's sewing.
Yeah,
she's like.
reminds me of Kevin Darling from Blackadder Goes Forth. I know what song the description. The stream is the wrong episode. Oh yeah, that's right. Because I copy pasted it. It's my bad.
Haha.
I'll fix that later. They closed their mouths. They were still singing.
Oh my God! They're lip syncing. They're lip syncing. They're lip syncing. No.
Your lips aren't moving. Your lips aren't moving. Your lips aren't moving. So telling time.
Your lips aren't moving. Your lips aren't moving.
I guess they're all just singing the set of Gaga. Fine.
Pink, I'm sorry. I think my plan failed.
Then come
You
up.
think?
So
You think
oh,
you kind of
no.
failed epically.
My plan has failed. Woe is you. Again, where is the music as well? Like we have like some music in the background of this, but I think that's like non-diegetic. This is still a gala, right?
Up with another one.
There it is.
How about...
Oh.
Okay, now we get some stuff. Oh, wait a minute. I am the Sonic as a me fusion was literally doing this pose, like the one I'm doing in the thumbnail of this video.
Oh my God! You should edit the thumbnail where you put in the weird Sonic version of Sonic, your love child with Sonic in the thumbnail. Just edit the thumbnail, just throw them in.
Well, now if I edit the thumbnail, it's not going to be authentic anymore, so I kind of keep it the same. As I just mentioned that. He's not playing the right notes on the keyboard. He's playing all the right notes, but not necessarily in the right order.
Make sure nobody gets Rosabella as a partner.
Consider it done, but...
By the way, I love the extra in the background going, whee! Just maintaining that pose. Commitment. Also, yeah, Rosabella's right behind you. That dress is very distinct. So, don't worry, Rosabella will not know anything about this. Oh, hey, Rosabella.
Hello, Rosabella.
I can do nothing about this.
Whoa! Why is she so aggressive at dancing? What?
I think he pushed
Is she smoking?
I guess.
Why is she smoking?
I have never seen this character smoke
she
in my entire life.
What?
I mean, she does own a flower shop. Maybe she's gone up to date with a different type of greens, if you know what I mean.
Huh?
Oh my
Oh,
God!
look, another the shadow thing that's actually alive still. oh wow,
well,
this frame,
you see,
this frame really highlights the problem with like the gacha eyes and the eye flashes as they blink.
you see, the shadow being actually really wanted her cigarettes, and that's why he tried to kill her earlier with the weird flame. You see, that's why it used the flame to lure her out there to kill her, so he can steal her cigarettes from her corpse. So
Either
then
that or that she was like drawn to the flame because she wanted to light a cigarette herself. But apparently it's a Pocky anyway, so
that's a Pocky. It doesn't look like a Pocky. It looks like a cigarette. It looks like she.
Well, I mean, it looks very. To be fair, it looks very fine for a cigarette. I imagine it'd be like slightly thicker and probably shorter. Oh no, never mind. That was definitely a puff of smoke. She is 100%.
She is smoking. Why are you smoking? Aren't you a teenager? I thought you were a teenager.
I mean, you act like teenagers don't smoke, Aiden.
Yeah, that's not, but that doesn't make it better.
Oh my goodness.
Emily, it's not a Pocky unless your friends are telling you that when they're smoking and they're eating a Pocky. Being like, "Oh, hey Emily, what are you doing?" I'm eating a Pocky. Nom. So
I forgot if Emily's a prefect or not at a school.
You
know, like,
Emily.
Wait a minute,
Emily, why don't you say the British the proper colloquial term in Britain for cigarettes?
Why would she?
Why don't you do that?
Is that a cigar?
There we go. See, yeah. If Emily's friend's going to vape, then I guess Rosabella could smoke.
Why are you smoking, girl? Stop smoking! Smoking is bad for you.
You know, it's bad for your lungs.
This is bad for your lungs?
Honestly, it does look like it's supposed like the prop itself is a Pocky, but
it is a Pocky.
I thought you were. Never mind. Why are you here?
Okay, no, but what was the puff of smoke then? I'm so confused.
Well, you see, her eating is like magic, has like gas coming out when she smokes. Gas out of her mouth.
But there's gas and there's like toxic fumes. A very different thing.
Well, maybe she's vaping. It's actually
dancing is
by
not
the
my
way, I was at work the other day and I threw away a good vape. Someone left their vape in their seat, and I think it was one like the good expensive vapes so that you plug in and recharge, and like you could put in new juice cartridges, not like the disposable ones, like the ones you're meant to keep. They left in their seat, and I threw it away. It was great.
Well, okay then.
I threw away a vape, and I liked it. Vapes are gross.
I just realized
gross. It's smoking! It's smoking!
I suppose as well something. Another win for this dress, by the way. It clearly has pockets. She couldn't keep that anywhere else.
Or maybe it's in a magical pocket dimension where she stores everything.
That would require a magical pocket to access the magical pocket dimension to begin with.
Well, no, pocket dimensions are literally just a little dimension that you store things in. Pocket dimension.
I guess. Do you think Rosabella knows that kind of magic? Anyway.
I don't know.
I'm not a prefect yet. I'm a head charity manager for my house. I'm running for head bill next year, hopefully. Fair enough. Following in the footsteps of Daisy.
Don't worry. Don't worry. You'll probably, if you do get head girl, you'll probably be head girl for longer than Daisy was.
Technically speaking, yes, that is true. I love Pink and the Same. I love Pop Optimus villains so much that I wish to get hit Regina George style that every time I drive for Pop. Not specifically. He wrote that Pop got shot.
Yeah, well,
so I guess anyone needs a refresher.
A random man with a gun came up to Pop after messing with Mark, and we're in his relationship.
Okay, so this is in case everyone hasn't heard this story before, because I mean we've told it a couple of times, but just because there's new people on the channel now. When we were writing season 2, episode 9 of The Mutant Girl, this was still early days as far as Aiden being a co-writer on the show, because he started on season 2, episode 5. So for the most part, it was me writing away, because I already had like a plan for the season, so Aiden was there mostly to like refine certain details, or like, try to incorporate other stuff or like pitch other ideas.
The main reason why I wasn't as involved in the writing process of season 2 was because, again, there was a plan. So if there wasn't a plan,
yeah, I know. That's why I'm providing that context just now. So moving on, so what happened because most of the time during that time, so I was like writing ahead and like in the document in real time. I got to gauge Aiden's reactions on certain plans that had been laid out, and it just so happened that season 2, episode 9 was the reveal of what Pop's plan was, or at least her revenge plan for the events of season 1, which involved gradually sowing discourse between Morwenna and Marwick in the form of the mystery caller that Marwick refused to elaborate on during the events of the series. Aiden did ask me a couple of times if that was actually adversity Pop. I forget if I actually told him or not, but regardless of that, it came about like after like Morwenna had like a blow up as far as like towards, and then Pop, as she watches her go away after, they very calmly collectively just says to Callie and Terry, well, everything worked out according to plan. And there was that moment where like everything clicked, and then Aiden, in a rare moment for him at the time, took over and then just like wrote into like the description, someone like comes in and shoots Pop in the face.
And then Pop died. And, you know, that's actually canon of what happened after that scene, because we kind of cut away from that scene. That's actually what happened. That's why Pop was barely in the rest of the season.
And that's why Aiden seems to have disconnected right now. I didn't press any buttons. He's gone. He's just... I don't know what happened there. Rip. Yeah, it's the worst times. Hey, at least that means that I'm still monetized on this video. Although I could be going to the claimant now, I guess, so I don't know. He's not back yet, so I'll just wait until he reconnects.
And you?
Same here.
Okay, now exhale.
Can I have some of that?
This?
Oh, no puff of smoke this time. All right, fine then.
I crashed.
We know.
No.
Made conversation.
You're so childish. Didn't you learn to share?
Didn't you?
You're so childish. Didn't you learn to... I feel like there's like a different like accent coming in there. You're so childish. Didn't you learn to share? I don't even know what that is.
God,
You learn to mind your own business?
Come
I don't even know if that's Irish. That's like Northern English, honestly.
on, just one.
No.
There was an entire box. Why do that specific one? Is it so that he takes a bite out of it and this simulates them kissing or something?
Oh my god. He's gonna walk and see them pretend kissing.
The answer is yes. I called it. There we go. Of course.
We love kiss misunderstandings.
Yeah, definitely. That's of course that's definitely not the moment that you determined that Music Freaks was not as perfect a show as you originally thought it was when you saw that.
I mean, well, listen, that whole episode was a mess. The whole storyline, I still hate Xander with a burning passion. Okay, you know, Xander could like leave the Music Freaks series, and I wouldn't cry. I would actually party probably.
I mean, sure, but then again, there would be far less internal conflict, I suppose. Actually, no. Haley kind of had that covered to a certain extent.
Adrian! I was just asking for a bite. A bite?
Have you never seen Lady and the Tramp? I'm a victim of circumstance here.
I meant a bite of the stick.
Why do you care? You're not even dating her. Why do you care?
I mean, I think we know why it goes. I think she was meant to be his. Was she meant to be his date to the gala? I guess.
No one really had a signed date, or at least, you know.
I know. I guess they. Oh yeah, because he was just kind of here because Rosa was going to be here. Because the way you said like who's the unlucky lady, it's almost okay. Fine. All right then.
Well, I'll
now we get
leave you two alone.
And they got again.
See, this is why I say they should just get together already. Like, God. Get
Well,
together already.
Who's the they in this situation? These two or Adrian?
These
Again,
two,
because,
because, no, well, this guy clearly show, at least to me, giving off more vibes of he's actually into her romantically, and the other guy is kind of playing way too coy for it to work, in my opinion.
I will be honest. Like Rosa and Adrian have had a far more tumultuous time. That's why
Right.
she calls him a thief because like he actually broke into her like flower shop once, but he was trying to hide from somebody and he just needed like a moment to stay in. Even though the flower shop was open at the time, so that was not that unreasonable to do anyway. She called him a thief or something, and then there was like a whole thing between them, and like they never seem to have. They've only recently started to like actually get along. So Adrian's been playing catch up significantly, whereas Eric was just kind of here the whole time. So yeah, I suppose I can see why Prison picked him to stand. Quite honestly.
What are you doing out here? It's cold.
I have nothing to do inside.
Smoking, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About that. I'm sorry. Ori wouldn't let me go. It's kind of weird, really.
What are you sorry for? At least you danced, right?
That's the thing. I wanted to dance with someone else.
I wanted to dance with you.
Like you, yeah. Also, based on like the time of events, that happened like 2 minutes ago. So when would he have danced exactly?
Why don't you ask her?
Maybe there was like a slight time jump. Maybe this is technically taking place like 30 minutes after that.
I guess. She's been out here this entire time. She would be cold by this point. I agree with Eric here.
She, isn't it? Why didn't you then?
Well, she kind of left before I could ask her.
You know, you should go back inside and ask her.
Oh my god!
Okay, hold on. Yes, obviously it's her. Obviously, you know, that dumb character is dumb. We get it. But also, on top of that, based on what she just heard right now, she left before he could ask her. So if he goes back inside, logically she would not be there, right? Because she left. So even without putting together that it's her, still she shouldn't have thought that was a good idea.
Go back?
She must have returned, and...
Would you like to dance?
Huh?
Yesterday I lost the battle.
I mean, sure, fine, but you can go inside and dance in the warmth too, but okay, whatever.
Trying at a cost to keep you, baby.
Because it's like, which way is she facing now? Because I guess they want to do a back face character for this.
Oh, to keep you, baby.
They're really just showing off the multiple angles a couple of times. You know, I guess good that both of the guys got that same treatment. They are being treated very equally in this love triangle at the moment.
I don't know. Again, I still think, like, again, I feel like blue hair guy is better.
I know. I mean, they're being treated equally by the narrative.
Oh yeah.
And the director and writer.
Now I hurt so bad.
Oh, well, that was a weird way to illustrate her turning.
It looked like she took like damage in Minecraft or something. Also, think Eric is the shadow figure in the thumbnail. That's true. I think that was why in the description of this video I said like, "Oh, what if it's one of the two boys?" Like, well, yeah, yes, it is.
Well, yeah, but then that makes him look even worse because then he was stalking her when she was in danger and didn't help her.
What? No, not the shadow figure that was in the forest. Like the shadow figure in the thumbnail of this video.
Oh,
that's a different thing. Unless he is both of those, he could be the shadow figure that was stalking them before and the one that flew off a cliff earlier. Maybe that was also him. Anyway.
I lost you, baby. Oh, I lost you, baby.
I guess like a whole choreographed dance routine, but to them, no music is playing. They just both imagined the same song in their heads and materialized it.
Thanks for tonight.
Why do we need that like final shot? This isn't an anime. Keep the shots classy, please.
See you tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Good night.
Good night, Bella.
Why won't you come?
She put her arm out for him to grab in that position. He could have at least like walked or something.
Back.
By the way, I've also commented like on the suits of armor in the past, like other gacha videos. That's like an actual gacha background. So yeah, fair. That gets anyway.
You should do when it was just me and you. Don't go. I need you. I'll never miss you.
Okay, that was pretty good.
Give this love another chance. Take my hand and let me have it.
Man, that magical pocket dimension is really getting some mileage today.
Hello?
Wow, just like instantly, like, I haven't kissed. Like, hello. That was short-lived. Oh my goodness, that was a cute moment, though. In all fairness, and again, sometimes the slow pace of live 2D actually works as advantage, and that was the second time this episode that it did. Also nice it was on the cheek too, just a little bit of progress to keep the flame alive, not the wisp from earlier. That can die, and it probably did.
Huh?
There we go. There it was again. A bit more clearly this time, actually.
Hey, look, it's Thanatos Castle from Fallen Angels.
It sure is.
Where do you think you're going?
Shh! You'll get me caught.
Man, she's a bad influence. He has a bad influence on her.
No one is available.
No one is available.
Oh no, she's been sneaking around. I better call Eric to notify him, because reasons.
Where are we going?
We? You're not coming.
Wait, hold on. Did they fly for so long that this is the middle of the night now?
No. It's not safe for you to wander at night.
Yeah,
I'm not wandering. I'm going home.
Home?
It's just an emergency.
Emergency? Then let's hurry.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you're telling me that she got a phone call that was probably the emergency, but then I guess waited until the morning to go outside the walls, and then now it's back to night again. I think it was supposed to be nighttime the whole time, but it's just like the gacha backgrounds did not allow that. Which, by the way, if you are clever enough with your editing, you can actually make backgrounds seem like they're nighttime when they're not. Just FYI there. But in this situation, that even if that is the case, she still took the time to get changed out of her ball outfit, of her gala outfit and her dress before leaving. If it's that big an emergency, she probably should have left without bothering with that. She even put her hair back to a normal design, for crying out loud. She restyled her hair just so she would go back at like in her normal clothes rather than like actually go to the emergency.
You live here?
Mm-hmm.
This is a road. This is just the city, which you've already been to because you were hiding from people here.
For how long?
My whole life.
Really?
Yeah, why?
Do you happen to know a girl?
Hey!
Is this the point right now? This is an emergency. Why are you having this conversation now?
Don't go over there!
Hey, Eric. Are you coming to the Moonlight Festival?
Oh, what?
I'd
They
love
have
to.
some bizarre
My mother is a-
backstory with her. Ooh.
By the way, this is, I guess, the same actors doing a child voice for the characters.
Interesting.
I think that's fine. I know you don't.
I know the
personally-
pain. I know it's fine, but I know the pain.
She's only into grandballs.
What am I supposed to do there?
I don't know. I'm only 3 days older.
I want
my
someone to talk
God.
to while Mother is busy.
When are you leaving?
I don't know. Can we do something else? I don't want to talk about it.
I've got some paint.
I also still am a very smooth-spoken child. It's a little bit higher than normal, but I still have a little bit of this voice.
Do you want us to be twins? I'll color your hair like mine.
Do I?
Ah,
The old switcheroo, and it turns out that Eric was the prince all along because they kept on pretending to be each other for years and years.
well, I mean, how bad of a mom would you have to be to not realize it's not actually your kid?
I don't know, a mum that stares at the back of your son's head like this. That this is creepy. It's like, Oh, there we go.
Oh, look, your
I
sister's
want
cigarettes.
Yep, the pocky cigarettes that you have in the Fae,
Two.
in the Fae world.
Would you?
Why is her
Oh, so
hair?
now-
Why is her hair
Wait,
like
okay.
look a completely different color? By the way.
Because that's what happens when you grow up. Sometimes your hair changes color. It's a perfectly normal thing to happen. But on top of two things about this. One, Adrian said before, "Oh, you wouldn't happen to know a girl, right?" As if the girl that lives in this village that he happened to have coincided with in a flashback. This is
She
clearly
actually-
Rosa in the past, but he hasn't clocked onto that.
She never ages.
Well, I mean, if she hadn't aged, then he would have recognized her instantly. Yes. But on top of that, also, I paused right as the song was about to start. But I think this is the song that is the theme song for this particular show.
Stay till the morning light.
Yep, it is. I knew it.
Or would you follow me?
Yep, music brain starts again.
Or would you let it be?
Would you follow? This is the best shot in the video. Forget the concert. Forget the spinning camera angle from earlier. Forget the dance. No. This right here is the best shot in this entire episode. Would you follow me? Please don't follow me. Why are you following me? God. It tells you everything you need to know about this scenario. The fact that there's somebody who has clearly not been taught social cues because has been sheltered all of his life, compared to somebody who clearly is like, what is happening right now? That's a very realistic and understandable reaction to a stranger following her silently, like the Terminator behind her. Also, I guess the reason that he's been styled in this way is mainly because that way she wouldn't have recognized him as well as he doesn't recognize her.
If I leave tonight.
It's raining. Hey!
Thank you. We wouldn't have known that from the rain falling down if you hadn't said it was raining.
Hey!
What would we do
Where
without
are
you?
you?
Where are you? She flew straight ahead. What do you mean, where are you? Does he have no object permanence yet?
He's too young to have object
Why is he
permanence.
following me?
Where is she?
Why is she following? So she could see him following her, but he couldn't see her. Right in. What? Also, I like how the Pocky was introduced like this specific episode, just so we have like a more identifiable feature for Rosabella. Like, we've not seen her consumed at any time before this point.
What is he doing?
It reminds me of like in doppelganger situations where it's like, oh my god, which one's the real one? And it's like, oh, remember that thing you do? You know, that thing you always do that's a consistent character trait of yours? Like, no, that's never been a character trait of mine, but sure, for this episode, for this one situation, yeah, that's always been a character trait of mine. Totally, yeah.
Weirdly enough, an example of a good like doppelganger revealed episode, Johnny Test in A Surprising Twist of Fate. People like to clown that show, but I remember specifically the doppelganger episode that I watched years and years ago.
We should do the Johnny Test edit of a Mutant Krill episode with whip sound effects everywhere.
Sure, okay, that's not what I'm talking about here. Like, there was an episode where, there was like a doppelganger of Johnny, and so Dookie was asking questions to the characters, and they both answered the exact same thing as each other for the entire time, until you get to like, for example, what is 9 times 3? 27. Wrong answer. Wait, well, that is the right answer. Yes, but Johnny wouldn't have known that. It's like, well, there you go. So it's like the reverse of I guess Finn getting like his trial of 2 + 2 in Adventure Time, and he actually solves it correctly, even though he's still bad at maths.
You! Don't go in there!
Wait, that's why she said don't go in there before, because she remembers the dog is here, and now that she said that line, it's going to trigger his memory that it was her the whole time. Problem is, we're having the trigger happen in the same scene it was revealed in, so it's not much of a mystery for the character. It was never a mystery for the audience because it was obvious to us, but like for him at least as well. So we've introduced in this episode Pocky to identify Rosabella. We've also introduced the mystery of this girl that's never been brought up beforehand, that's going to connect Adrian to Rosabella a bit more. And now we have the reveal and the callback to a line that just happened in order to cement this, that they haven't ever passed together. Rosabella and Adrian connected so poorly in previous episodes that this one had to play catch up with their relationship up to the point where he saves her life and invents a history with them together just to have a chance at being on the same playing field as Eric was.
You know what's ironic? The Vampire Diaries did that too.
Oh no.
No, so we find out Stefan saved Elena from the car accident where her parents died, and that's the reason why. But later on, we find out that before the car accident, a day before, Elena was alone waiting on her parents, and Stefan was there, and even though he was kind of murderous and psychotic at the time, he was nice to her and told her, glamored her to make sure she always goes for what she wants. It's like, oh my god, of course you have to introduce this element in here now. And it's like one of those times where it's like, yeah, this feels like you kind of wanted to add more history between them that technically never existed till now. Like, they met in episode 2 canonically, but apparently they met earlier now, allegedly.
Yep.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Damon was ends up being the main ship after the whole Stefan things. After they decided to stop the whole Stefan part in season 4, they made Damon the main ship. So, of course.
Number being 28. Well, Emily, if you think about the 9 times table, every number on the 9 times table up until 9 times 11, obviously, the digits of both of them always add up to 9, and every single time you always
9.
have, yes,
9.
Yes, thank you, Aiden. 9 adds up to 9. Yes,
no, I'm
that
screaming no.
still counts.
I'm just screaming no in German.
Okay, fantastic.
9.
So yeah, then you have that. So, and also the 9 times 10 way I was taught about this actually was also that that the first digit will always increase in 1, and the second will always decrease in 1. So you have 0 and 9 add to 9 for 09. You have 1 and 8 also adds up to 9. Then you have 2 and 7 after that, and that's how I was taught to learn the 9 times table. So yeah, definitely 27.
Here, this way. Hurry!
They run so slow. They don't run very fast at all.
Yeah, this isn't slow motion anymore, but they move the exact same, they cover the exact same distance as before. And they cut to a different angle now. Now that I think about it, actually, this episode probably should have ended at the phone call. Because this feels tapped on, and on a visual degree, it seems to have also had somewhat of a decline as well. Also by multiple.
But I feel like this doesn't really connect. Like, this whole end scene doesn't do a great job at connecting to the episode as a whole.
No, it doesn't. Which is why, again, this should have ended before. But I'll talk about that later when we get to the end of the video. We're almost there.
Oh.
That dog hasn't moved. Oh, no.
My arm!
Where is the dog?
The dog bit it and quit it.
You can bit it and quit it, yo. Also, that was clearly like a human tooth mark. That's not what a dog would.
Adrian, what are you doing? It's raining.
Is it? I don't see a drop of rain right now. In the flashback, it actually was raining. What is this?
Come on, my house is nearby.
Okay, the line should have been changed.
The rain.
The line should have been changed to, it looks like it's about to start raining.
Or, I don't know, just add rain to the
Hi.
scene.
Where could I find her?
Why do you
Okay,
get?
never mind. So there is a mystery because the characters are idiots. I forgot.
Here, you can change into
Okay,
these.
so I have beef. So now a major character motivation of him was just introduced after not even really being established. So he had this history with this mystery girl in the past, and he wants to see her again. One, he barely knew her. This is not a situation of Aphmau, red dress girl, Gareth, Romeo family thing. You know, this
Yeah,
isn't one
because
of
they were
those.
literally too young to remember each other, apart from like that. So yeah, of course,
You
that
know,
makes sense.
this doesn't really feel like one of those situations. Like, you didn't know the girl for a minute. Like, okay, what happens when you find her? Do you want to apologize for her? Check up on her? I mean, she got bit by a dog, and that sucks. It hurts. But it's not bad enough where it'll kill her. She's fine. So I don't get it. I don't get why this backstory element was introduced, besides to add a potential romantic connection, which feels frankly forced and not like it was thought about before this episode or before the halfway through writing this episode. We're like, wait, the other guy is getting way too close to her as a coupling. We need a way to connect them we need a way to connect the other guy to her even more to make them seem like a better match as well. And it's like,
It goes even further than that. It goes to the extent where like I said before, they had this mystery where all the pieces were connected almost immediately after they were introduced, like 1 or 2 scenes apart, and then that flashback towards the very end there. It establishes all the pieces, and yet, even though the audience has had the answer spoon-fed to us,
the character's gonna be stupid.
Yeah, so it's almost like, okay, you've created a mystery, but you've also solved the mystery. Why would you do that?
You know, Emily, this is what you do. Don't do this when it comes when
We
final
just do the
break.
culprit like standing above one of the bodies, and then everyone else just has to like stumble around for all the time.
No, the audience sees the culprit, and like the characters see the shadow and like the full-on detailed silhouette with the actual colors and some of the outfit pieces, to a point where the characters are being idiotic not to know who the killer is.
Yeah, it's like a ghost detected right in front of you. You'd have to be some kind of moron not to see it.
Wait, there's a ghost? Where?
Exactly. The guy's named Adrian to be suspected to have a brain. I'm taking a dig at miraculous ladybug Adrian. Hey, he has a brain. Excuse you. He might not be as creative or complex in like the thought process as Ladybug, but hey,
well, to be
he does
fair,
have his moments.
in the case of Miraculous Ladybug, everyone's kind of an idiot in that show. You know,
Well, yes, okay, everyone has their idiot moments, but everyone has their small moments too.
like with Hawkmoth, for example. I mean, let's be honest. If they try to
We weren't talking about him. We were talking specifically about Adrian right now.
I know, but like all the characters can't put 2 and 2 together of half the stuff, so
sometimes they can. Again, Hawkmoth has had like actual moments of pretty decent plans.
When it's
usually season finale. Usually the
when-
finales of every season.
Usually
yes, decent
finale,
plans.
or there'll be that like 1 or 2 episode in the season where
Yeah, exactly.
where
That's
it's
why I'm
actually
saying
gonna
that their characters have their moments, and the same applies to Adrian.
Do I have to?
Sorry, but you don't have a choice. You'll get in
Yeah, I guess you got wet in the rain that doesn't exist. Therefore, you might catch magical pneumonia. You better change clothes.
pneumonia.
Can I just get?
Oh well, she actually does say pneumonia.
Wait,
She actually said it.
wait, is this the way to get him shirtless or something?
Maybe, but also this might be like a case of like, oh my goodness, what I'm just taking is taking him a shower in the other room, or getting changed to the other room, or something at the same time. I don't know.
Pneumonia.
One of those. But they do that in Phoenix Drop days as well.
Just wear it. I'll be right back.
Okay, but to be fair, in the case of Phoenix Drop,
Oh, never mind. Okay, I guess they don't have any. I guess they wouldn't have any male clothes in the house because it was just her and her mom.
No.
So,
but
I
in the
suppose
case
this is
of
the
Phoenix
joke.
Drop Days, at least that initial point in that scene was more or less an embarrassing situation rather than oh my god, you're shirtless. The cute guy is shirtless. Oh my god.
I mean,
rather,
you say that like there was not an obvious
No.
fandom shipping Kiori and
Yeah,
Hunter
I
anyway,
mean,
despite the fact we're on the series.
To be fair, it eventually technically could be retroactively look at that after series finale, but you know.
No, I mean, like, for the fandom itself, they were already looking at it. Some of them were. Even though it wasn't there, that never stops anyone. You've seen what fandoms are like, especially Mouse fandom.
Also, I don't get how we introduced the mystery of, like, this emergency, and in the episode, and, like, they didn't really, and, like, again, that film call would have been perfect point to cut off the episode, but, like, we still don't know what the emergency is, so I don't know. I feel like they got really distracted. This writing is very distracted.
I'm waiting until the end to talk about that.
RFA.
Just like...
What are you doing?
Oh, okay, fine.
This feels forced.
I'm just gonna mute this because we've already seen these, I guess. But yeah.
Okay, this whole thing.
Thank you for reminding us of all of the moments in the episode.
The last few scenes
okay.
felt so forced. Oh my god. Like, this is blatant writing of,
yeah,
hey,
there is a difference between
these characters. Look at them together. Aren't they cute? They should date.
There is a
right
difference
now.
between like
now.
the final scene. There's a difference between the final scene of this and like towards the middle of the episode, because there was like the end of the examination arc and also the gala afterwards. They both could have been separate episodes in all fairness, but the reason they were together, I think, was so that, you know, both the boys could, you know, be on the same level as each other and have them particular moment in the episode. Because this one, more than any of the others so far, has been just pure shipping material. Like this one, particularly over the others. But the reason that last bit feels so different is because, yeah, there was a good place to cut it, which would have been like the mystery part, and then potentially maybe you could do the first part of the flashback. The flashback as the first scene of the next episode, to which then we see Rosabella sneaking out, potentially like again immediately after, because again, why did she get changed? Because she's just wasting time if that's the case. Hold on, and then afterwards we get like an idea of that Adrian is that Adrian remembers there was a particular girl, because now we have a sense that there's something else that's going on. It wouldn't be perfect; it would still be contrived, but it would at least be like a mystery that could last potentially at least the episode as he puts pieces together. And it also gives enough distance time in order for it to forget that the Pocky thing that was just established in this episode alone, and clearly meant to just highlight that. It's almost like that part like hijacks the rest of it. It's like, oh wait, we got to add this one. We got to scotch tape this last plot point on, even though we already had something pretty decent going, and something we had just wrapped up right before this. That's why it feels like it's tapped on, and why the episode should have ended slightly sooner in order to possibly, you know, make this next arc a little bit better.
I mean, honestly, I think flashback scenes are a decent way to start an episode. You know, normally the flashback opening an episode is a good way to prelude something about the past that's relevant to the present, or to reaffirm something about the present, like character relationships. Yeah, I think
did that. Also, Fallen Angels.
Yeah, no, like that's a thing I do for like certain reasons. Like episode 6 of season 2 opens with a flashback of Alana getting her kimono, because she gets her kimono later in part 2, and that kind of recenters her back to how, or at least she regains a part of herself being with the group and wearing that kimono. It's metaphorically saying she got back to the group, but like mentioned that the flashback before help establishes that more, even though it was hinted at before that her aunt made it or got it for her, and then it also
it
goes
wasn't
back
hinted.
to
It was directly stated that her aunt got it before. Like that was the line in the episode.
Okay, yeah, but like in general, like or like episode, crap, what episode was it? There was like there's another episode that started with a flashback. I don't know. Anyways,
what happens in the flashback?
I forget, honestly, but. Listen, I wrote a lot of episodes, okay? I wrote a lot of stuff. Anyways, point being, the flashbacks normally opening an episode are a good way to like reaffirm something or introduce something that's going to be relevant to the episode. Amphibia being a good example of it. Season 1's finale opens up with a set of flashbacks showing us how Anne and Sasha were on Earth together, and how Sasha was a bad friend, and how she got, and what led to Sasha convincing Anne to steal the Calamity Box, which got her stuck in Amphibia with her friends. You know, True Colors literally opens up with a flashback of Marcy and her perspective on it, and we get to see some of her family issues, and she's there to run away and see the Calamity Box, and bam, that explains that. And like in case of both those episodes, the opening flashback says something that we technically didn't really know at that point, but also gives us, more perspective on things that gets referenced later in the episode. Again, flashbacks in beginning episodes are a good mechanic in storytelling wise if you need to reaffirm something, especially something about the past that's relevant now. But yeah,
that is just one way of going about that mystery, but it is the way that I would prefer as well. Ultimately,
but
no matter what direction that would have hypothetically been taken, the main core issue is the fact that it feels like it's been scotch taped on in the first place to this episode and would work better in whichever form in the next one.
Yeah, I'm still not a fan of the backstory though in general, because it just kind of feels, I don't know, it feels like something kind of weird. Plus, it introduced a weird character motivation now, where he wants to meet up with this girl again now that he's in this area, but like he never talked about her before, never thought about her. I guess maybe it's like now that he's here, he's thinking about her. Maybe that's the idea, but like
for the second time, of course, because the first one was being chased by guards, had other stuff in his mind.
Yeah, it kind of feels more like this important aspect, or this something he cares about is like, oh my god, I remember this thing I care about. Now it's going to be a major character beat for me now.
Retroactively, he could have potentially picked this particular town to escape in because he knew that somewhere the girl that he met all those years ago would have been present. But yeah, beyond that would obviously be a retcon. But again, it would at least make somewhat of sense and possibly tie
it's
that
introduced purely from shipping and to give them more moments together. Even though, keep in mind, them having moments together, it's not like this episode is absent of them having moments together or having a connection. Like,
it opens up with them having moments together, having a connection.
They in the beginning of the episode, and then there's that scene and like under the gazebo. That gazebo scene as well, where they had a bit of a connection and talk for a moment. Yeah, that gazebo scene is mostly used to like talk about the other love interest and deal with the other love interest, but still, he still had a little bit. So I wouldn't even say it's like, oh, it's purely like one-sided. Like clearly they're still trying to give him focus, even though he's definitely the weaker written love interest. Like just from a pure shipping standpoint, he's definitely a weak love interest. Or weaker love interest than the
as a character, he's got more going for him than Eric does, but as a love interest specifically, yeah, he's not as compatible.
And I don't know, it just kind of feels weird. Like I don't mind love triangles, but I kind of think love triangles work better when I equally like both love interests. Like sometimes, like I don't really warm up to either love interest. Or sometimes it takes me a lot longer. Like going back to the Vampire Diaries, it took me ages to warm up to Damon, even though clearly the narrative of seasons 1 through 3 was clearly about Elena and Stefan. But I'd only started warming up to Damon's character like season, like maybe late season 2, mid season 3 territory. Is when I started warming up to his character, because and I wouldn't say he's compatible with like I wouldn't say like him and Elena. Oh man, in season 1 they should got together. They barely had any romantic compatibility or any romantic interaction.
The question then also becomes like, did Damon have anything else going for his character aside from a potential romance?
Yeah, I guess he was like a complex person, or a more complex, interesting person to get into than Stefan, who's kind of cookie cutter.
That's at least like a silver lining. And in the case of Adrian, like I said before, he's got more going for him than Eric, because for crying out loud, he has the whole Dean J thing. He has the fact that he's the prince of the top kingdom, apparently, whatever that means. Pink is
Then
after
then
him.
what? Oh wait, Pink's after Adrian, blue
Yes.
hair, not purple hair. I thought she was after purple hair. Never mind.
Okay.
Oh my god, they're probably gonna go direction of Adrian actually. If Pink's after him, then she's probably gonna end up with Adrian realistically.
That would be a solution, and what I implied before was that she could form an alliance with different people in order to make sure that Rosabella ends up with Eric, because that would be mutually beneficial for her. But who she team up with is a whole other matter. In fact, actually, yeah, she intentionally seemed to sabotage Rosabella and Eric during the dance, actually. Which, now that I think about it, yeah, she probably shouldn't have done that. But I guess her hatred for Rosabella tops the idea of marrying into the top kingdom, which is probably not a good priority for her to have. But hey, teenager, I suppose.
But I mean, if Adrian does end up being the one she chooses, I find it kind of ironic that the creator made too strong of a case for the other love interest that wasn't even meant to be in game. Which, again, going back to Vampire Diaries, is literally kind of what happened with Stefan and Elena, because Damon is still pretty problematic in season 2.
There's kind of something to that almost. It's kind of like with how Gareth and Lawrence had so much more time dedicated to them than Aaron did, but yet that was a bit of a surprise.
Well, I still despise Diaries' way of handling the romance between Aphmau and Aaron. It just wasn't handled well. I'm not even saying they got to interact romantically. Honestly, I think some of the best ships have mostly plutonic or mostly chill
I'm not sure
interactions.
how much romance was going on with Diaries, Aphmau, and Aaron, quite frankly.
Yeah, but they could at least Aphmau could at least explore their friendship more, which I felt like their friendship kind of got lost with everything that was going on. Their friendship should have been again, going back to talking about Fallen Angels. I mean, a major component is Alana and Adam's friendship. We have a lot of scenes with Alana and Adam, just talking and connecting with each other. If they introduced more scenes like that between Aphmau and Aaron, I would be more fine with it. But
I remember so vividly the first KW reaction where KW and Junior both were declared okay, those two are gonna get together. It's so obvious. Yeah, it's so obvious. Replied Junior. No, it's there, but
what,
you have seen nothing yet. You fools! You've fallen into our trap.
And again, My Street Season 1 did a semi-poor handling of it, because we kept hearing about how Aphmau and Aaron kept hanging out, even though we didn't see any of that hanging out, which, again, show don't tell. It's oh, they're so close friends. She's always at his house. Okay, do we get see scenes of her going to his house? Do we get to see tons of material with them together? No. They're so friends, which I guess on a technical level gives us more of an outsider's perspective, much like Caitlyn and Kawaii-chan of them.
It's more about Lawrence's comical reactions, I suppose.
But at the same time, if you want us to, at least midway through season 1, start to root for the ship, you really got to make sure we actually get to see casual interactions. Again, a casual interaction doesn't have to be romantic. You could literally be as plutonic as heck, and it would still works, because because and them interacting.
She kind of started doing that towards the end of the season, but by that point the damage was already done, I suppose.
That's why if it ever gets a remake, which probably won't, but it would have been nice if she kind of had them interact more, like what they did in episode 1, that small little.
That does remind me. I still need to do the review of the remake episode, because that was technically I think I should have done in April.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that I have beef. No,
and I get that. I mean, I will say there is somewhat of a bold appeal to me, almost of how you spend so much time establishing this thing, establishing the relationship that's not going to end up being, and then surprise people with the one that it actually is. Although it should be noted that you shouldn't have nothing for the other one. At least show that there's an actual reason behind a decision that the main character would make, rather than just making it for the sake of the surprise. So there is a balance to be had in there somewhere. And I guess neither Diaries Aphmau nor nor same DNA for this series has quite hit that balance just yet.
Yeah, and again, I think Adrian just doesn't. I don't know. I just don't really care for him as much as a love interest. Like he's just not really. Eh. And I hate that because I kind of wish I could be like, oh, I'm so torn because you need a love interest. I'm not torn. There's nothing.
Yeah, I think this
pulling-
episode was meant to make people more torn than just like whichever one like side they chose beforehand. But because of the stuff that happened before,
Make me feel like the main protagonist. Make me want both. Okay.
Ah, see, you can imagine, yourself having two different options.
Well, yeah. Well, if that's what the main character's meant to be going through, make me feel like the main protagonist, which I have not felt like that this whole time.
Oh my goodness. Imagine a story set between individual but two love interests all end up in a polycule. That would be a. Honestly, you know what? I can imagine a dating sim where the polycule run is like the most complicated run because you have to try to go down the route of like every single character at the same time. That's like the I guess that's like 100% completion in the game.
This is just a me thing, but like I don't personally like when it comes to love triangles that people start suggesting, oh, why don't you just become a polycule? Why don't you just get in a giant polyamorous relationship because that seems like a weird cheat to be like, why have to actually make a decision and choose someone when you could just pick all of the above? It kind of feels like a cheap way to get. That seems kind of like a weird, cheap suggestion, where it's like,
if it happened at least once in media, then yeah, sure. But like all the time, there's always like a thing you're saying.
But like, it just kind of seems like too easy to be like, hey, just have them all date each other. It's fine, or at least. It's like just do
Tomoko-chan, I love you, but Tomoko-chan, I also love you. But who will you choose?
Why don't we all just F each other?
That's like an actual Prosy sketch.
It feels like a meme someone would do. Like it's like, oh
yeah, Prosy D literally just said that was the meme. And so anime was sold forever. Is how that sketch ends. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, basically everyone's in love with Apmo, baby, technically.
Well, that representation. Yeah, there is significantly more. So yeah, like,
okay, there's a cheat for
like if every single love triangle because that just. But yeah, like if it happened at least once in a story, then you can kind of get that out of your system. I think as an audience member, it's like okay, fine, this they did it here. This is how it kind of goes.
Okay, fine. And baby, in this case, I was talking about an actual romantic relationship, or not a romantic relationship, a love triangle in media. How do I describe this? Love triangle in media. Vampire Diaries. Why don't Stefan and Damon just share Elena? Well, actually, that's a bit more complicated because they're brothers. Never mind. Bad example. Why don't Elijah?
Well, that implies they also have to share each other in that sense. Yeah, that's not always the case.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I guess again, like not in real life, but in a media, when you're writing a story about, and the main conflict is who the main character is going to choose. It kind of ends up being kind of cheap just to be like she chooses all of them. Like, I know she wants to girl boss to the sun, but don't girl boss that much.
I'm not even sure if Rosabella wants to girl boss, to be honest. I think she just wants to be left alone, quite frankly.
Yeah, again, BB, that wasn't talking about real life. That was, and again, it would work in the sense of if that's actually what the creator was going for.
No, she wasn't talking about real life either. She's talking about representation, as in, like, in media. That's
yeah, but, like, but wouldn't that paint all polycules as hypothetical easy way out if someone can't choose who to date?
Well, it depends on the execution. Like, also you have to bear in mind that like everyone has to be open to it in that situation. So it probably wouldn't happen too much. It's again the same situation with in real life. Not everyone that's open to being non-monogamous. So you wouldn't get as many examples. So it wouldn't be like an even 50-50.
In the case of a non-monogamous relationship, though, you'd also have to deal with your own trial and tribulations specific to that kind of relationship.
To be honest, that feels like it could be like
that could be an entire show
or all into itself. Like if you have like a love triangle plot, that's like the end goal. Sure, okay, I guess you can do that and like fade to credits at the end if it's that kind of series. But to be perfectly honest, actually, a story about a polycule going through their relationship and trying to figure out, how to handle that with each other, that feels like a whole show onto itself. And honestly, now I think about it, quite one that lends itself quite nicely to the medium of gacha, considering what we used to get back in the day. Maybe that's one for the list, honestly.
But I mean, like, okay, but again, going back to the series real quick. Here's how this series is gonna go. Eventually, she's going to start to get together, get really close to the other guy, and to the point where they almost start dating. But then, through all the trial and tribulations, the Adrian's gonna be like, "No, I love her," and then they're gonna get together, and then the other guy's gonna be left in the dust. So, that's gonna be the series finale, guys. Probably.
Okay, well, we're writing that one down. Well, Gus keep writing down the
writing down the polycule idea.
Yeah, but no, we're all making a mental note of the fact that you said that, so we can actually figure this out when we actually get to the finale.
Well,
as you said,
that'd be the most formulaic way to.
We actually haven't reached that point as of yet, so I guess that means we're halfway through what's available to us currently. So I guess we'll see what happens next when we get back to something else that's not just the romance stuff, because it's kind of out of the creative system now. We shall see. It's probably going to be more of the flashback stuff with Adrian.
Honestly,
we might be stuck with this setup for some time.
Honestly, I think we're just getting started with the romance stuff. I'm honest. I think we're literally just touching on the
I just said we might get stuck with this for some time. I'm trying to do the outro.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have nothing else to say now. I've lost my segue.
Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this. Go check out the original video once Jacob fixes the link.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing that. Yeah.
And
on that note,
until next time, farewell. Caca and drugs and yes and ah.